everyone, I'm Azumi.
I'm Crispy.
And I'm Kringle.
And we are...
The Comic-Ateers!
Alright, and today we'll be talking about the newest anime from spring 2025.
Yes, very excited for these. We're going to be going through the first episode of every show this season. We did not include season 2s, as well as a few shorts, which are mainly made for kids, but we have 42 on the docket today.
We also, unfortunately, didn't include the Chinese and Korean anime, so it'll just be the ones from Japan. This is our first run, so sorry about that.
Yeah, but we have a lot to talk about today. So
I mean, there are, 42?
Yeah, 42.
We're already looking at. So, you know, if we
lot of
included
time.
everything else, what would it be, like 60, 70? Which I think is just, wow.
Yeah, we decided to take on a huge project for the first sort of, I guess, debut video, if you were to say. So we have a lot to talk about. We think it'll be a fun time for y'all. We're pretty much going to go through, give you, like, at the end of each episode, maybe like our short review or just a score, whether you recommend it. And then at the very end, we'll decide what is the best show, the worst show, and the last one will be the most forgettable show, which I'm excited for. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, so... Yeah, with that, let's just get right into it. Crispy, can you introduce how we're going to see which anime we talk about?
So we will be using this very beautiful Wheel of 2025 spring anime, and we will roll the wheel to decide our first topic.
So we're just going to get right into it. First, we got to go through and spin the wheel.
Yay!
Let's do this. 3, 2, 1...
Go!
All right, what's gonna be?
What is that?
All right, Teogonia, I believe.
Teogonia.
All right, well, let's check this out. So, all right, so studios by Asahi Production. They are known for doing Izetta the Witch. I hated that show, so already we're getting into a great start. The director is Mori Kunihiro. He's actually he was an episode director for Cowboy Bebop. Did about 6 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, so I'm expecting something good. And he's notable for doing Gundam Wing, which is classic 90s Gundam. And the writer is Tanimai Tsukasa, but who I don't really know. Most of the works, from what I was looking up, didn't really seem to be anything of note. Maybe this is just a different name, but yeah, I guess who wants to give us a description from the Mal page?
Yeah, I'll give you that description. So, the Mal page says, in the harsh region known as the Borderlands, humans must fight an endless battle against demi-human creatures that come at them endlessly, intent on taking their land and their gods. A young boy named Kai, fighting to defend his village, sustains a life-threatening injury that causes him to regain memories from a past life. If you're not a guardian bearer, it's like you're playing life on hard mode. Kai's newfound knowledge gives him a new sense of the unfair rule set that governs the world around him. One thing is clear. For those without a god to serve as their guardian, life is a constant struggle for survival. Thus begins the epic tale of a young boy's ascent into a vast world filled with magic, bloodshed, and mystery.
Okay, so... yeah, that sounds way more interesting than the show.
Yeah. To be honest, even just reading this, like, I have to admit, this blurb is not the best, I believe.
Yeah, so
I'm just like, where, like, there's so many different things going on.
there's a lot of different things. Kind of getting into the show initially, people struggling to survive fighting these monsters. It's very disorganized. It feels like they're just this doesn't feel like an army or anything. Like, it's just kind of scrappy, which is cool. I mean, I guess in a little way. I was initially thinking, oh, nice, non-isekai fantasy. This is going to be great. Like, it's going to be at least something outside of that realm of things. But they just couldn't keep themselves from just going down the isekai route. He has what seems to be sort of memories, loose memories of his past life.
Which is like modern day Earth.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, he's like remembering what rice balls are, and people are just like, what the fuck are you talking about? So he's remembering really important things, like that fantasy writing existed in his world.
And like, how does magic work? Which, you know, look, that's pretty like helpful.
Yeah.
How does magic work? Or the concept of how magic works. But like, rice balls.
Rice balls.
Rice balls in particular?
Yeah, like so, but yeah, so the basis of the story is that they're fighting to essentially to survive. He's in a small sort of like township on the outskirts of like civilization, and they're having to fight a smorgasbord of different like racial
Demi-humans.
monster, like different races.
They call them demi-humans.
Demi-humans that are, I guess, going through and just trying to beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think about like the feudalism kind of feel to it?
So I guess with the feudalism, I thought was interesting. I thought it was interesting that like the chief of their village or whatever was like, there's enemies coming up, but I don't want to have to send our people out to deal with it. And then the young guy, who's like the strong guy, was like, well, that's what they're here for. They're here to die for us.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very much a feeling of like the village like chief was just like, okay, it kind of like understanding
He was trying to be
more. He was
reasonable.
trying to be reasonable, and the
Yeah.
young guy, he feels like one of those like young upstart lords who has no idea the severity of what he's talking about.
So there are these powers that exist. There's typically just normal people that fight. They're like the ground troops. And then there are powers that some of them seem to have, aka the prince, and some of the demi-humans, which have the ability to like become super strong, where they get this like face paint effect and whatnot, and then they're crazy powerful.
But their powers get enhanced by drinking the juice of
Of their, what is it, Power Stone?
No, they're called godstone.
godstones from that are in replacement of their hearts.
Yeah. But so basically,
But it's like a new organ. They have like a separate
I've
fantasy
got a
organ.
note here which says every life form in this world has a godstone in their chest as an extra organ, perhaps in place of their heart.
But then it's like, but okay, so that brings up a lot of questions. So like one, of course, they're taking it from warriors and they're like enhancing their mana through that. If everything has that, then couldn't they just get that from like deer or just like anything? Or
Well,
maybe they're
does
gonna
everything
explain-
have it?
I don't know. I mean, it's. I guess they're just going with like this is a thing, which I do like. I like when fantasy shows
It's
are just like this is a
interesting.
thing.
Yeah.
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely alluding to like past cultures of like eating someone's heart to gain their courage.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's kind of an interesting concept. I do like how the guy who's like the leader of the town is like actually somewhat sympathetic. Like he doesn't want to send people. But yet, when they're like eating food, there is like an obvious like class disparity.
Like you could do something about that.
Yeah, like you can do that. They're like, oh man, but it's like pure meritocracy. So it's like oh well, if you do better, you get more food on your table. Does that mean that the guy at the top is just like, oh, I guess he's the most merit?
And that also
I
means
doubt
like
that.
anyone who's old or sick, they just have
is
to
trash. Yeah. Well, they say when they bury people, they're like, oh, like if we forget, like if they don't have family, no one fucking goes to like take care of their grave. They're like put in a practical.
Well, yeah,
unmarked grave.
and they have an incredibly harsh outlook on like life and death because
Yeah.
like when our main dude Kai, when he's injured, his friend goes like, I want to help you, and tries to help him, and he's just like, no, leave me, I am done for, get yourself out of here. And
Yeah.
and he takes like half a second to think about it and goes, yeah, I'm gone. Because and like it's just this incredibly cut and dry of like, okay, like realistically, if he tries to help our main character, both of them will end up dead.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's like it's very harsh. Like the reality of the situation they're in is very like dramatic. Yeah, kind of nihilistic.
Yeah.
The main character is just like what are we here for? Just to die in the
Right.
dirt? like it's pretty. And he's just like his only motivation in life is just like I just want to get stronger to kill more things to survive better. It's like it's pretty. I don't know. Interesting motivations for a character.
Right.
Um.
I thought it was a story with potential that was executed very poorly.
Okay, yeah. If we get into that,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
we definitely. I think the description of our like time going through it is interesting. Sounds interesting, but it's not great, folks.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough. The animation's pretty bad.
Yeah.
The compositing was terrible.
Oh my God.
Like everything just felt like it was just like in some cases were just like plastered onto the background.
Right. And just the general pacing of the story itself was like very choppy.
Yeah, as also for like a first episode.
For an introductory episode, I think there should have been a lot more like concrete world building, like
yeah.
kind of not like force feeding you kind of this does this, like this does this kind of thing. But there should have been a bit more like, let's just let you in it more gently, or just more concisely kind of tell how does everything work.
Well, I think there are ways to just throw you into it. Like,
yeah.
we have
Yeah.
a lot of examples this season that do that well, but this one didn't.
Yeah, this one
is
didn't.
the issue.
In fact, it's actually interesting because it's very like straightforward. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't good at like capturing like a like driving force of being like, I want to like understand what's happening. I mean, they leave you on a cliffhanger. He's falling down a cliff after getting into
A literal
a
cliffhanger.
literal
Literal
cliffhanger
cliffhanger.
as he's falling down a cliff. He's gonna survive. There's no question of that. So it's like, I don't know. In the isekai thing again, I feel like just makes it so
I
much like
know,
it brings
makes it
it way down as
boring.
a word. Because like I would have so much more like, I don't know. I feel like I would have so much more respect for the show, especially being a fan of like early 2000s and 90s like fantasy before like the isekai wave came. I was really hoping like, well, at least hopefully this is like an original like fantasy world without that isekai bit, and it's like, no, it is exactly, and it's gonna eventually be the same thing as everything else. So.
Like, I have to admit, I'm a big fan of isekai. Like, I like it way too much. Like, I will like shows which are actually not that great, but but
Isekai can
yeah,
be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, even as a fan of isekai, I was not really a fan of this show.
Yeah.
just because it's just like, as you said, it would have been better as just an original fantasy. Like, leave modern day stuff out of it. Like, make it so like when he's trying to think about how to use magic, just think about something else in this world, not like magic systems in fantasy books from another.
Yeah, that aren't even real in his world either.
It's such a stretch. So like, it's like he's like, I'm going to, because he calls upon like his memories to try to be like, I'm going to force a fireball out by like focusing really hard, or focusing on like he does focus on the Godstone, I guess, for like channeling his energy, but he's going based on like literally fantasy topics from the other world. So it's like, it's not like he came from another world that had magic and was like a thing. So like, that could have almost been more interesting if he's from like a different fantasy world.
The only other point I can give it is that I appreciated it addressing also the misogyny in their world, that the girl with the white hair is like apparently one of those people that's like more powerful than anyone else, and yet they won't let her train to be a fighter because she's a woman.
So there's kind of some interesting struggle there.
She's also voiced by Hanazawa Kana.
Oh shit!
She's like a mega big seiyuu, which is very surprising that she's in this show.
It's an average show. Nothing about it would felt to me. I mean, it's below average. I mean, if we're thinking average, I'm thinking like, so okay. Let's just get to scores then. I thought this was a solid 5 out of 10.
I would probably say about 5, maybe 4.5.
I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. Okay. Do you have any reason why in particular you just really didn't like it?
I was just incredibly bored.
I was bored too. Yeah. It like,
there are shows that would be 5s that are probably entertaining, but it's like they're not done well, but at least they're entertaining kind of thing. This wasn't done well, and it was boring.
you're right. It was
Yeah,
pretty rough.
I think the concept is good, but it was executed poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I hate being critical of things, but I think
Yeah.
No, I think I agree honestly with those takes. I think I just rate a little higher because like maybe there's this part of me that feels like there's more potential in it. I also love this type of genre of fantasy, especially when it's like sort of like it definitely is removed from a lot of other isekai, I guess.
It's more original.
But yeah, it's still very apt.
it doesn't start out with I'm from a different world and I've been chucked into a new one. It starts out with this new world and a whole lot of information here first, and then it suddenly mentions Onigiri.
Yeah, basically.
He has a dream.
It's like, this is dumb. So would we recommend it? I think it's a pretty.
No,
Yeah, I wouldn't really.
I wouldn't
recommend
really
it.
recommend it.
I would say if you like fantasy and you have absolutely nothing else to watch, give it a shot. Who knows? Maybe some crazy shit happens later
Mate,
on. So who knows? Who am I to say?
there's always the potential for it to get better.
Exactly.
Because sometimes episode 1s don't really showcase the full potential.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
a
In a-
disclaimer for all of our analyses is that it's only episode 1.
It's only episode
We-
1. Say it with
it
me
could
now. It's
do a
only-
total 180. We have no idea.
Yes. Yeah. Say it with me now. It's only
Episode
episode
one.
one. Yeah. All right. Good. All right. And I think it honestly might be our most forgettable, but we got to move on. So we got to move on. So okay,
Next.
we have the wheel.
Yay.
All right.
The wheel.
We got 41 more to go. So let's go.
Yippee.
And
Ooh.
we got
Oh.
Ah.
Another isekai.
Another isekai.
yes. What even is this again?
Number 30, actually.
Number 30,
The beginning after the end.
So, the beginning after the end, Studio A Cat. The director is Motonaga Keitaro. And they were the director of Katanagatari
Oh.
and Date A Live. And the writer, it's actually a English vertical scroll comic.
Oh.
It's English?
That was written by Turtle Me and illustrated by Fuyuki23.
Oh, okay.
Turtle Me does not have any other notable works that I was able to find. Maybe I'm missing something. But this seems to be sort of like a debut work of his.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Debut work to anime.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of getting into it. I realized I was watching the 6th episode.
Oh my
when I
God.
first started, and then I went all the way through, and I was like, that was a weird in medias res they were doing. And then I realized it was episode 6, so I had to go back through and
Yeah.
watch episode 1. So
You spoilers. The story follows the strongest king in history, Gray. Although he possesses unparalleled power, wealth, and fame, there is no one who stands by his side, and he trusts no one. One day, Gray suddenly meets his death and is reincarnated as a powerless infant named Arthur. Surrounded by a loving family and companions, Arthur starts to experience joys in his new life that he never knew in his previous one. However, during a journey, his family is attacked by bandits. Thus begins his second life filled with love and adventure. That was not in the first episode.
That was not in the first episode.
nope.
So,
spoilers.
spoilers, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I just want to start out with this was not very good. This was really bad. Like really bad.
Look, to be fair, I'm actually more of the opinion that Teogonia and The Beginning After the End are about on the same level.
I actually
Really?
I was actually a little more engaged with this than Tagonia.
What?
Yep.
That's actually crazy to me. So, okay. We have to start with the fact that he was literally Hitler in his last life.
Yeah.
I mean,
right?
he was, yeah.
I mean, we're talking a warlord that literally is wiping out cities
Yeah.
and killing all
Which
these
that
people.
was so like
Which
that
was so
opening
edgy.
scene.
This is the guy you give the second chance to?
Yeah. Part of me is like, I'm sorry, what is happening? Like, what
Yeah.
are we trying to say?
Like, how is this guy in any way redeemable?
I also don't understand. So when we're watching it, okay, so we have the super powerful like king guy. Okay, he's trying to like learn the systems, and I guess you're thinking because he was a king before, he's like trying to be more strategic. But it doesn't feel like he's like doing anything particularly different. Like there's usually a gimmick with like how they see the world when they are reborn. And it's like I don't really know what his gimmick was, except that he's just a full-grown man in a child body.
Yeah, like I actually made
He
a
wasn't
note.
using any of the
Yeah,
king
I actually
stuff.
made a note of this because like when he starts as like a baby, you just get this like monologue of resentment.
Yeah.
Like full on resentment of this new life and
Yeah.
particularly his new body, but it's just like full on resentment and I'm just like, dude, be grateful.
We should go back to my shitty life.
Where
being
you
the
were
king,
where
murdering
I was
people.
assassinated.
Yeah, he's like resentful, being like, I have to restart this shit.
Look, I feel like part of the resentment is kind of realistic because, like, just imagine, like, say us for instance, if one of us was suddenly yoinked to being like a baby in an isekai universe, you would be resentful of like the however many years we've spent up till now, like becoming adult.
But it's like that's a relatable point, which is impossible to be relatable with this like king guy or Hitler, I should say. I don't know.
The point that redeemed it for me was that it made it clear that this story is going to be about him learning how to love people. Like that's kind of the theme of this story right now. And I thought it was a really refreshing take from most isekais where it's just like, I'm gonna be strong and here's my harem of girls.
Look, like, yeah, I have to admit, yeah, the isekai trope is generally you go from weakling to strongman, not from strongman to strong man. I suppose strong man again. I guess I don't
Strong
know.
baby.
Strong baby.
Strong baby.
Boss baby.
So there is something I do have to mention. Now, I don't believe either of you have seen Jobless Reincarnation. This is straight up the same thing.
Oh, really?
I feel like. So, and I guess what I mean by that is that like the way he even like stumbles across a book to find out what magic is and stuff like that's all in Mushoku Tensei, or well, sorry, Jobless Reincarnation. The vibe of it being like someone who's kind of not a good person being revived is also kind of
I see,
the
I
same
see.
theme. Watching this was like it wasn't the Jobless Reincarnation we had at home. It's like the the Jobless Reincarnation we had in the basement, that like
basement.
grandfather left and is now all dusty and old and really was not
I
good in the
see.
first place.
Okay.
To me, I rated this very low.
One thing that wasn't mentioned that did annoy me about it was the fact that, and this happens in like almost every fantasy anime, the dad was the buff attacker and he has the attack magic, and then the mom is the meek healer and she inherently has the healing magic. And also like her hyper feminine Japanese, like I don't know if you picked up on that. No, like the way she talks is yeah, exactly. It's like it's hyper feminine. And I was like, "Oh my god." Like oh.
Yeah, I mean that's the par for the course, I guess, in this case. I did want to mention the OP. I'm a little embarrassed to admit the OP definitely slaps in that sort of 2000 way. Kane's blood. It
Did that
definitely
play?
slaps in a.
I don't think
in
that
a
played in the
2000
first episode.
Oh shit, that's because I watched the 6th episode first. No, I think they play it. I'm almost positive.
They play the ending.
Okay, maybe they didn't. Maybe check it out if you like that sort of thing. I thought the OP slapped. It was really good. I love it that I put, because I was watching episode 6. I was like, feels like an event to have later on for full emotional impact. Because there's stuff that happens. I'm not going to spoil it because it's whatever. If you want to watch.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say, which is kind of interesting for an isekai, is that, so you know how most isekai, the growing up stage is generally like sped run?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this one, it's still a little bit sped run, but it's actually really focused on his toddler stage.
Yeah.
Like, the first episode is practically
Yeah.
all toddler stage, and I'm just like, what?
I mean, I don't think he really gets out of kid state.
No, he doesn't. I mean,
he still looks like a kid in the.
Yeah, in the title.
yeah, I think by the end he's what, like 4 or 5 years old, but it really focuses on like this, like the crawling toddler stage, and I'm just like, why would you choose to do that?
Yeah, I feel like Jobless Reincarnation does it so much better for that stage, which I will admit, Jobless Reincarnation has a lot of like interesting things that he does as a baby, which is kind of strange and really like a little bit fucked up. But at least like I think that made it like very entertaining to watch. Whereas this was just like, yeah, he just can't do shit. Oh, nice, great. I guess I'll have to watch him crawl through, getting his diaper changed. All right, so our thoughts, scores. What'd you guys think?
I originally gave it a 4 out of 10, but considering the fact that I haven't seen Jobless Reincarnation, I think I would give it a 3 if I knew.
I think I would still give it the same score as I would Teogonia, so about a 4.5 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I gave it 3. Bare bones kind of stuff. And the compositing made me want to like literally throw up. It was
bad. It was bad.
We didn't even talk about that as a production. It is atrocious.
The magic scenes where like the dad is starting to use it's so.
It doesn't feel like they're even connected. It's like someone's using After Effects. Obviously, not great. Okay, so
recommendation.
we would not recommend. I would not recommend.
I probably wouldn't recommend it.
I guess the recommendation here is Jobless Reincarnation.
Watch Jobless Reincarnation. It's a better show, a fucked up show, but that's for you to decide. So next, let's. I guess that means we should just get right into the next one. Let's see.
Let's see what the wheel has in store for us this time. Is it another isekai?
Oh God.
Let's see. Is it another isekai? I think it's a 50-50 chance.
Oh, not an isekai this time.
Like Chusenji?
Yes, the Mononoke lectures of Chuzenji Sensei. He just solves all the mystery.
He just solves all mysteries.
Yep, and that is a massively long title.
All right, yeah. So studio is 100 Studio. Again, not really many notable works here, at least that I could recognize. A lot of times when I don't mention the other works, a lot of the works have like 6s or lower in on Mal, so they're not very popular, at least. And then the director is Kumano Chihiro. I also did not notice any really notable works. I think this might be their directorial debut. And the writer is Kyogoku Natsuhiko, which I also did not notice any particular works from them.
So, the blurb starts out with this: School X Supernatural X Mystery. This story takes place before the exorcist Kyogokudo opened up a used bookstore. ... Our setting is in Tokyo in 1948, just right after the war. Kanna Kusakabe had just become a second year at high school when she meets the new language teacher, Akihiko Chuzenji. Mysterious supernatural things keep happening around Kanna. Once again, today, Kanna is going to open the doors to the library prep room to seek help from the surly Chuzenji sensei who is waiting inside. A high school supernatural mystery featuring the unlikely duo between a teacher and a high school girl is about to begin. The blurb doesn't really spark too much interest, really, I feel.
Which the show doesn't truly spark much to begin with.
I feel like it could have been really good. Like, I am all for, like, those mystery-solving shows.
So, the immediate thing that struck me is the time. This is not a time period that is ever talked about in anime or really just like any type of like.
There's a reason for that.
There is a little bit of a reason, and maybe we'll get into that. But the main idea is like of 1948. I mean, I was already immediately kind of impressed that like the location that they're in is very much. I mean, they're in Tokyo. Tokyo has been recently firebombed from the war, so the whole place feel a little bit more desperate to like try to like steal things and stuff in, which would make sense for that time. It's a very different Japan, not one that we see very often.
Yeah, they also talk about censorship of books.
Censorship of books, which is a very big thing. So censorship of books was not only just a thing that the Imperial Japanese government did, but also that America did when they were occupying for a while. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of governments in those days were like afraid of certain regimes and everything else. So,
yeah, they were trying to suppress communism in Japan.
Yeah, they were trying to suppress communism, but also any like formal imperial like sort of like leanings and whatnot. So it's so I think the fact that the Chusenji sensei, the guy who's our main sort of solving mystery man, has found sort of this little hidey hole, which they used to use for making illegal books or holding on to illegal books.
Illegal book club.
Yeah.
But as for the mystery, what do y'all think?
Boring.
Yeah,
It was
that's its
okay.
big issue.
Yeah, and obviously this is only the first episode, so it could get better. But I'm just like, I love the setting, but
Yeah.
the content is not so much.
So kind of getting into what happens. Essentially, this girl is she's a middle school
High schooler.
She is a high
Second
schooler.
year high schooler.
Oh, for some reason I thought she was middle school. Okay, so yeah, she goes to school and she finds out that her friend was going on a romantic, spooky late night
Rendezvous.
Yeah, rendezvous.
rendezvous into the school, I guess, to see any like ghost, spooky things that pops up.
I think they were just trying to
Shag.
chill.
They were just trying to chill.
They were trying to
Well,
chill.
they're trying to chill, but like, dude's like, his girlfriend's like obviously uncomfortable. He's like, yeah, let's go into the like spooky. I don't know.
I think he was just teasing her. I don't think they were looking for anything scary because then they found something scary and didn't like it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I think it was more about like they had a place where they could meet up, which they both
true.
knew, and they knew it'd be quiet, and like that's it.
But I mean, regardless, they see a spooky ghost going into the library, and then they run into the library, and it's not there. No one's there. And then her friend believes that she's cursed, and that and there's a rumor that she will die in a month.
And like obviously,
Became an interesting plot
like if
point.
as a good friend, our main character Kanna was like, okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because I don't want you to either think that you're going to die or I don't want you to die in a month. So she gets to the bottom of this.
Yeah, which is the easiest mystery known to man. Which is just finding out that
Dude in the room.
this new teacher, Chusenji, he is literally a dude in the room.
A hidden.
It's hidden room.
I think
and
the
that's
real-
what made them think it was ghosts.
The
'cause he
real
disappeared.
mystery here is why was this dude hanging out in the school before he was a teacher?
That is
That's the mystery.
He had found that place So I guess he was using it at night.
Yeah.
To avoid anyone noticing him sneaking into this place.
Now, granted, while he was in the school before he was introduced to our main like school student cast. But see, the thing is with that, it's not necessarily like he wasn't allowed in there, because teachers, like teachers are generally introduced to a school and then like a week later they get introduced to the students. So he could have been allowed to be there. Probably not like that.
I think he had been there a long time, though, is the thing.
His like study and everything.
Yeah, he could have personal connections to it beyond what the first episode introduces to us.
Yeah, I think he's introduced also on the bus, where you have the three people trying to like vie for this like dropped wallet. So the main character finds a wallet on the bus as she's about to leave.
And there's three characters
and
who
then
going.
there's these three characters of all different backgrounds that are saying, no, it's my wallet. So she's in, it's a conundrum. How do you figure out whose wallet it is? Other than just asking what's inside and then looking at what's inside,
Right.
which I thought was gonna be what the
normal
Chisenji was
thing
gonna
to do.
say. Instead, it comes down to being like, okay, the guy who's a wood carver remembers that the carving was from a random shrine he was at,
Yeah.
and that lines up in the story.
Well, he carved it after he visited the shrine with his wife.
But he forgets which one. It was a little kind of stupid, because I think they were trying to make, because the old man was the most abrasive. You're like,
yeah, he
it's
was.
obviously not his, that kind of thing.
He was like frighteningly abrasive. Like it was just like, oh my god, back off, dude.
Yeah, and he's like, he's like, it's like back off, and then also like when he's asking him questions, he's just like, I don't know, and it's like he's trying to. It sounds like he's bullshitting, but then it's like they try to be like, I think they did that to try to be like a surprise, like, oh wow, you wouldn't have thought it was actually him, but it really was.
Also, this is like my, I don't know, the fight I have to pick with most mysteries like this is that their reasoning is always like kind of stupid and could have easily been debunked if like more than one person was involved in this conversation, i.e. the writer. Like the moment when he's like, no, it can't be the businessman because his suitcase is too packed full, and it's like, how do you know that? One, also two, he has pockets. Like
there's a lot of like, there's always like these counter arguments that could be brought up, but because it's between just two people.
Well, one really, it's the writer.
One person that pretty much does not want to like bring up any counter points. That's how you write a quote unquote a crappy smart character.
Right, exactly.
Is by making it so that the only options are the things that he like kind of makes up in his mind for the mystery.
So basically, a fallible Sherlock. Basically,
Fallible Sherlock, yeah, practically. For scores, I did kind of like the overall cast. Like I thought the kind of developing of the larger cast, like their classmates, maybe expanding it could be interesting. I wrote here, and I may have been high off my ass.
for legal reasons, that's a joke.
But yeah, I gave it like a 7, which was actually really high.
What?
But I think that was really because I was just so intrigued to see 1948 Japan.
Yeah.
And I really just want to see more of it for that reason.
Yeah, look, I also gave it
such a unique period.
like, I didn't write a number here. I'm just making up numbers as we go, to be honest. But I actually said it was an interesting comedy mystery with clashes of personality. So that's what I've written. So I'm like, that's like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. So I actually found this, despite some of the flaws in the storytelling and everything else, I actually quite enjoyed it.
Okay.
I'm the opposite of you. I had my hopes up really high at the beginning, especially because I really like the title card, and it kind of evoked this feeling of like, oh, this will be like a spunky mystery kind of thing. And then the opening comes, and it's like the setting's really cool, and the main character is a kind person. And then it just ends up being like a huge letdown. And also I found Chuzenji like really annoying.
He's sort of a he's like a very, very like straight-laced kind of character.
Well,
he's like
it was just very pretentious. I thought it was stupid.
Pretentious. I think there was a somewhat like, it was kind of fun, I think.
So I gave it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. I honestly could easily see that, like, for just like, it's not really that good. Maybe it could be fun. It depends like what the other mysteries are, because I feel like the type of scenarios that could play out in this time frame or time period could be interesting, where you're learning a little bit of history, whereas you're also learning a little bit of like maybe the fun mystery or whatever. I thought the bus thing, despite it being kind of stupid, was at least like an
Informative.
interesting dilemma to find yourself in that
think,
felt
yeah,
like
it was
real
also-
to like a life like that.
It was also really interesting because it like it shows you exactly how desperate some people were.
It's a little bit of world building as well as mystery creating.
Yeah, it's not just a oh my god, someone's dropped their wallet and it's like modern day. You just want it because
Like you can just look at my ID, dude.
Yeah. So, would we recommend this show?
I think I would. If you're interested in the time period and you do like sort of a very chill mystery setup, sure. I think this could be a fun little one to watch.
I'm the same. I would probably recommend it to people who like light mysteries and
Very
like
light.
school comedy, I guess.
Yeah. Don't expect like really good stuff like on the mystery side of things. Just what are your thoughts?
I don't think I'd recommend it unless I watched more and saw it was better. But as of episode 1, I wouldn't recommend
Okay,
it.
gotcha. All right, well, yeah, I guess then next, let's get into our next show.
Oh my god.
Saints.
Oh my god.
I like that reaction. So from Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, studio is Passion. They did Six Heroes, which was a fun little one. They did Spice and Wolf, the new Spice and Wolf, and they did Higurashi Go. So the director is Kazumi Akio. He's known for Ajin, which is that so they're known for Ajin, and the writer is Sagasaki Shigeru, and he doesn't have any notable works from what I saw.
So, Beryl Gardinant, a self-proclaimed humble old man, is a sword instructor at his dojo in a rural backwater village. In his younger years, he dreamed of glory as a master swordsman, but those days are long behind him. Out of the blue, he receives a visit from a famous former pupil who brings him world-shattering news. He's been appointed as a special instructor for the Knights of the Liberation Order. With his life now turned upside down, Beryl travels to the capital and reunites with some of his former students, elite knights, an ace wizard, and even an adventurer who attained the highest guild rank possible. But why do they all want his tutelage? As far as he's concerned, they clearly don't need him anymore. Can Beryl live up to his new position? And will he ever get a moment's peace away from his adoring students?
Adoring
Yeah,
student.
I think that last line delivery sort of, I think, sums up, how we think about this.
Old man with harem of like really sexy girls.
Oh
Of
my
girls
God.
that he taught when
As,
they
like,
were little children.
as literal
is
children
disgusting.
is really gross. It's like, I don't even get into this. So it's like, okay. We start where he's like teaching at his like old little village and stuff. And he's teaching. Now, one thing I thought was interesting is the fact. So a long time ago, I took some courses on broadsword fighting.
That's cool.
So there's a lot of and it's cool because like the different like moves and whatnots that you have or that you can like use were actually like used in this show. So immediately like watching them like see some of like how they're like fighting and doing footwork and stuff, I could tell that it was like accurately tracked to that. And even in the OP, he does like some like plow stance or like some other it's like, what is it? Plow stance, ox stance. There's different swings that he was doing that was like accurate to real life. But so that was the one thing I was at least immediately like, okay, that's interesting. Of course, this is like very, very low level kind of stuff to be doing in like a fantasy world. That was strange. And then his pupil show. Okay, so it's already weird.
Yeah.
The grandpa is like,
Oh
give
my
me kids,
God.
give me kids.
Yeah. Grandkids.
Give me grandkids.
Oh my
yeah.
God, yeah.
That was already weird. And he's just constantly harping on him.
So then the girl who's the former pupil who's now a famous knight, she comes up and is inviting Beryl to become the instructor for the knights. And the whole time the granddad is like, oh, look, there's a fertile woman in front of you.
my God, yeah.
Like gross.
Yeah.
And it's like
that kind of like parent wanting their child to have kids is like it's a funny concept when it's done right.
it's a little too real, I feel.
When the man is not in his 40s, 50s, and the woman is in her 20s.
It's very gross. There's also this weird thing where, I mean, immediately they have to be like, oh, the girl's like totally in love with him. And like,
Well, all of them are actually.
the thing that's at least interesting with his character is they're like that he's like, he does not see them at all as love interests.
No, he doesn't.
He does not see them at all as love. And there was actually a great moment when they're in town where she was like, oh, you can stay with, because he has to go to the town So backing up, she essentially says you have to, on royal order, because I voluntold you to do this. You have to come to teach people. You have to teach people swordsmanship and all that. So she's bringing him around town so you can like look for an apartment or something. And I thought there was an interesting moment where she's like, oh well, you could stay with me, and he's just like no, like not the stupid, oh like well no, that would be so weird. He's just like, of course not. Like, of course I wouldn't stay with you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
His attitude towards that was really good, like, where he's just, like, not interested at all.
But you know the story is going to try to still push it in that direction.
It's gonna absolutely, like, railroad him in that direction.
Yeah, he's practically going to be railroaded in, unless he meets an old sword saint. And maybe that's how it's redeemed.
Maybe.
They should just make
Grandfather.
it, old man
for
Yowie.
everyone. Old man
Old man
Yowie.
Yowie. Okay, old man Yowie. Here we come.
Hell yes. So yeah, it's already pretty gross kind of going in, and he just keeps meeting, I guess, like other previous more of his students.
With questionable tastes in clothing.
Well, yeah, if you want to go into character designs, that's already kind of wild. But it's so stupid when they go for this historical, I don't know, like referencing to like swordsmanship and all that stuff, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna go to this like place where people are training, and then this guy who challenges him, I'm gonna use the whirlwind spin attack. He like does this huge fucking whirlwind.
I know.
It's just so cringy, and then it's like, oh, with real moves, I beat you. It's like, no, dude did like a whirlwind attack. like he literally just spun in place, like on a fucking top. Like, it's just so stupid.
With the
my
blur effect of
God.
like the sword, he looks like a spinning top.
Yeah, he's just like a spinning top. No one can block this move. It's just so dumb. So, and yeah, everyone fawning over him is just incredibly like just weird and whatnot.
In saying that, the outfits, they're not like horrible. Like in terms of
They're rough.
They're rough, but they're not like horrible kind of thing.
I mean, it's just the whole like all the men are like normal
normal
night
And then all
clothes,
the women
and then the
are in,
women
like,
got their
skimpy
titties
stuff.
Practically
out.
lingerie.
I'm just like,
so-
where is the armor capability in this?
My good point for this show is the art in that they did use CG modeling for that fight he had with that younger guy.
Yeah,
but
I forgot about that.
But
Yeah.
when it started, I didn't even realize it was CG
Yes.
until they did two like 360 spins around the characters, and I'm like, wait a second, there's no way they animated that.
That was really well done. That was
It
a
was
surprise.
crazy
That was
good.
a very big
A
surprise.
lot
to
of
me.
the time when they do use like 3D CG, it's just like, this is obviously
Exactly.
3D CG.
Yeah.
There was also in the OP they did that too, where they have the
Yeah.
different characters doing like actual like fighting moves and things, or like real like sword fighting techniques. Outside of like some of the fantasy crap they did, but like it definitely looked weird in that fight. In this,
It
in the
was
fight in
really
the show,
good.
it was good.
Yeah.
In the fight in the OP, it was like really strange and messy.
Yeah.
And I think just because they were trying to like work with a lot of different perspectives, and maybe they were rotoscoping over someone. I'm not sure exactly how they did it, but it did look a little awkward. There's almost this part of me where I'm like, I almost just wish it was a show where the dude just goes like unsheaths his sword a little bit, and then like all like the stupid fancy, because it's like, I guess that's what I feel like that would be what most people are here for, being like, oh, it's a sword saint show.
Like, obviously, this
What
dude has
I-
some like impossible moves.
Yeah, but it is really just like, it's just like average kind of moves, which I mean,
Well,
maybe
but
that
I guess
relates to being
that's the
something
thing.
cool when he fights something later on, but
There is an appeal in that, like the ordinary moves, like your basics will serve you well forever. Kind
it's like if he's going against dragons, like it's gonna be cringy where they have to like rationalize how like shit that was meant for killing just like a single knight in like the
like,
olden
how do you
days
apply this to a dragon?
was is now going to be used to try to fight a dragon. Anyway,
Did anyone notice, because it played the ending at the end of the show, did anyone notice the ending artist?
I'm really
probably
bad
Did
with
you
these
immediately
names.
realize
I
who it
probably did,
was?
but I didn't write it down.
It was Flo.
Oh,
my God.
really?
It was freaking
Oh,
Flo.
holy shit, it was Flo.
Flo.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
shocked.
Wait, did I actually?
I heard that. I heard
Wait, I-
one
I
of
gotta
their
do that then.
voices, and I'm like, "What the? Is this Flo?" And then it showed up
Huh.
on the credits. It was Flo. It wasn't a very good song.
Yeah, I remember it was very forgettable. I don't even have a note in here.
I was like, "What the hell, Flo?" Like,
that we all know from Code Geass.
yeah, Colors by Flo, or Go by Flo.
Or Go by Flo. I do think it's hilarious that in my notes I said, bro is surrounded by assholes. Because everyone's an asshole to him. Everyone's like, you gotta walk home. You gotta, like, I'm voluntoling you for this. You're not a freaking teacher, which of course was probably what they're going for, and be like, everyone loves him net by the end.
The other part about it I didn't mind was that after he fought the kid, the assholey kid, the kid was immediately like, "Oh yeah, you are better than me." It didn't become a point of drama. It was
That's kind of, I feel like that's a little bit of a, I feel like that's almost a little bit of a cliche now with isekai of like having to prove, it's always rough in the beginning. And then, like, after you prove yourself, everyone's like, I love you so much.
I'm so used to, like, there still being drama when it's a male versus a male kind of thing.
I think traditionally that's
Yeah.
a cliche, but I think
see.
it's like
It's
switched. I think isekai, that's sort of the fulfillment fantasy of like, oh, even my peers respect
I
me.
see.
Although, granted, this is not an isekai.
The desire for
It is not
male-
actually, surprisingly,
male
which
approval.
like, but it's so coded. It's so isekai coded.
I feel
It's
like,
practically.
look, I feel like the reason we think it's isekai coded is because it's fantasy.
I think I know it's isekai. Well, I know. Well, I think it's isekai coded because like they don't
It's
explain
the
the world
OP.
at all. Just think about that. They don't explain the world at all. They know you already know.
Yeah.
They don't need to explain
That's
what the
true.
world is like. They're just like, yeah, adventures are a thing. That's it.
Okay, but I
Demon
feel,
Lord's probably a thing.
But
Dragon's
I feel
probably
like
a thing.
I feel like that's a really good like gauging of audience, though.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't have to explain everything because a lot of it like it's just like naturally explained as you go along. So I think that's a really good natural kind of look at it, like as a world building tactic.
The other isekai coding is the OP protagonist with a
Wow.
harem following
Oh
him
my
everywhere
God.
he
Yeah.
goes.
I
So
think that kind of stands on its own.
I feel like harems are they're very common across animes with male protagonists.
these shows are all essentially being like, we need to just get out like a set load of character designs, have them fawn over the main character, and then from there, if we're popular, then we can merchandise everything. And so yeah, scores. Crispy, you want to start us off?
I gave it a 2 out of 10.
Oh wow, that's a pretty low rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like viscerally disgusted
It was pretty gross.
by the teacher student dynamic.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty disgusted by that, but I'm also just like, he isn't interested in them as yet. So that was like a bit more of a, redeeming factor.
There's always an element where it's like, yes, he's not into them, but it's like eventually the idea
It's
is
gonna
that
be a
he
thing.
will. Either he will, or like the purpose of the work is to create that will they won't they kind of dynamic, which is already grown. So yeah, for me, I rated it mid, so like 5. I said 5 out of 10 as like it's an average isekai because like it doesn't stand out from any of these other ones.
It's not an isekai.
And I keep saying that it's just like it's hard for me to even separate it. It is an isekai because he's from old country,
We should
and now
cancel
he's going.
Kringle.
I'm getting canceled
Because you keep calling
you're
it an
right, 'cause I keep
isekai.
calling it an isekai. Yes, I don't know. 5 out of 10. That was it. I don't know.
Look, I'm pretty
recommend
much
it.
like average 5 out of 10.
Okay.
I don't think I'm rating it. I don't think mentally I rate it as low as you two do, but yeah, it's still not great.
I have a lot of hatred in my heart.
Yeah. 2 out of 10 with some hate.
Yeah.
With some real hate.
Well, I actually originally like immediately put it down at 0, and then I was like, well, wait a second.
I gotta watch
I
it.
gotta like, yeah.
That rotoscope, that was pretty nuts.
Yeah, exactly. That's what brought it up for me.
That was pretty good, dude.
That's what brought it
That
up
was
for
pretty
me.
good. Shit. Yeah, it's kind of cringe. It's just kind of cringy too. It's a cringy.
Yeah.
Like it's almost weird when it's like, oh, we're gonna take some real world things, but it's like that actually made it worse.
Yeah.
I feel like- I don't know. Maybe someone will enjoy this. I don't recommend it.
I would say watch it if this is the kind of genre of like fantasy harem anime. If that's something you like, then
If you have
watch.
no moral quandaries.
Yeah, I could never recommend it because I would never allow for someone to associate me with that dynamic.
Kristen did recommend it that one time, so
Yeah, look,
so
I couldn't recommend it, but if someone was just like, what are some like weird kind of fantasy animes you've dipped a toe into recently, then I'd go, yeah, I've seen this one. Here's what I think about it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
All right. Well, yeah, I think think with that, let's get on to our next one. And then we'll take a little short break.
Yep.
Okay.
And then yeah, so let's do this. Gotta spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel. Let's go.
Oh, that looks like it's a...
Oh, Guilty Gear.
Oh boy, Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh boy.
Dear Lord. Guilty Gear Strive, Dual Rulers. This was interesting because I followed the game for a while, like just people playing the game. I didn't have it because I suck at those games. Anyway, the studio is Sanzigen. They did Ave Mujica and Maigo Bandori. The director is Ko Yu. They did Zero no Tsukaima, which is kind of the only one that I saw that I noticed he was like an actual director for.
Heard of
the
it.
head director for.
I don't know whether I've watched it though.
It's a classic. It's like a classic like tsundere romance, fantasy romance from I think like the 2000s. I've note of it if I'm being honest. So original character design is Ishiwatari Daisuke. As for the writer, so the original creator, it was all over the place. It was like 10 people
Well, yeah, I
that
can
wrote the
imagine.
script for this. But the original creator design is kind of, they're sort of the big name. Daisuke is sort of the big name for Strive as making those characters. Or, sorry, Guilty Gear for making those characters. But yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts?
Okay, well, a short summary of this. Okay, so after the decline of the once robust fields of science and technology, a new energy source known as magic fuels the modern era. Humanity creates forbidden biological weapons, gears. Those gears eventually stand against humanity in a rebellion. Although they manage to overcome in the struggle for survival known as the Crusades, humanity's losses are so great that even after several decades pass, their emotional wounds remain unable to fully heal. Shin Kisuke, the child of a human and a gear, heads to his father Kai and mother Dizzy's wedding ceremony. Their wedding breaks the ultimate taboo, a union between a human and a gear. Even with the world at peace, it took many years for such a ceremony to come to fruition. Despite the complex array of emotions surrounding it, the wedding ceremony is met with blessings, when suddenly a mysterious girl appears, the fated child inheriting gear blood, and the mysterious girl who despises gears. Their meeting would shake the world.
Okay.
So,
A very long description.
yeah, very long description. Guilty Gear has like a lot of lore to it.
I can tell.
It has a lot of lore. So
I guess we should start. I've never played Guilty
Yeah.
Gear, and
I don't know
I
anything
have
about
played. I played Guilty Gear Zerd or something. Zerd Sign. Oh god, I forget the name of that one. They have a lot of very complicated version names and whatnot. And I think it's Kaisk for Sin Kaisk. I think that's how you say
it.
his
I
name.
don't know. I
That's
was
how they say it in the English,
Sin
honestly.
Kaisk? I don't
Yeah,
know.
Sin Kaisk, I think is how they say it.
I was like looking at it going, this looks like a really weird romanization, but
Yeah, so but anyway, it's fine. I like so yeah, this sucked.
it was so bad.
not like
fucking
this at all.
sucked.
The fact
this was
I know
rough.
that Guilty Gear has
Oh
a
my
lot of
God.
lore, but they did not explain the world building very well at all.
Not at all.
Oh my
I
god, it
was
was
just like-
so bad.
I was just like, what? Like just what?
Like what is going on? I mean, okay, so like it's funny because I know of the what is it? Dixie or what?
Dizzy.
Dizzy. God, I'm so bad with names. With Dizzy marrying Kai Kaisk. I knew about that in the story. That's kind of like a big thing they set up. But man, like it felt like the director or whatever like was just throwing shit at the screen without like any continuity whatsoever.
Right?
It was like a fever dream. And like in Sin, the like boy guy, like he is the most annoying character
know!
ever.
Yeah.
He's so annoying. Like, and in the games, he's not. I don't know, like he's kind of annoying, but like this was like. He didn't even know how to like talk.
I
He
know.
didn't know how to talk.
Yeah, look,
What was bro doing?
in saying that it was really confusing, like there is
Just
an
clips.
intro. There is an intro to this which very quickly lays down lots of the world building.
Yeah.
But it's like it's done in such a short chunk that you're just like, what just happened?
And it was also
Yeah.
quick, but also felt like ages at the same time.
Oh my god, yeah, and like
I was like, when will this end?
everything looks horrible. Like the composition or the compositing sucks. Everything looks really separate. and all the characters are 3D models, which like were straight up ripped from the game, which is fine. Like, I mean, they have those models, they look good in the game, but like in the game, they use Arc System Works to actually like create the 2D effect. So even though they're 3D, they like look good. But with this, it's like it was very obviously they're 3D, and then they'll just have people walk up to them, they're 2D, and it's just like, what the fuck? This is stupid. So there was just lots of, I don't know, like.
Look, the way they introduced the characters was just like, okay, this is happening. Why do I care?
Yeah, why do I care? What is happening? It's definitely a show for people that like know Guilty Gear, but as someone who knows Guilty Gear, this was ass. This was such ass.
Look, maybe people who are like really into Guilty Gear, maybe they'd understand what was going on. Like, this feels like a DLC for something we haven't seen.
Yeah. And it's also like a strange concept. Like, Sin is like in the woods being raised by Soul Bad Guy. And he's being raised in the woods with him because it was like they didn't go public, or I think it was like Dizzy and Kai Kais didn't go public with Sin's birth. And I think to protect
had
him,
a baby out of wedlock too.
Maybe that was it too.
Well,
I think
you've got the wedlock and you've got the
and he's like half gear.
I don't think they're as worried about the out of wedlock. I think it's the fact. I think it's the fact that like I think it's because also like as a kid he was very unstable. So like they couldn't have him be like running around and stuff. Unless I'm just misremembering. I'm almost positive that was the reason.
They didn't explain that.
They didn't explain a lot of shit. So yeah. So I mean, so he's like. He's fighting a bear
for some reason.
So bad.
That was so
that
like awkward and just like strange. And you're like, oh, he's like super powerful, but then he's like running from a bear. He's like scared of the bear, and then he knocks it out. So Bad Guy's like, good job. He's like, he's like, you shouldn't have let it go because then they'll like get closer to human territory. And it's like, this is like, I guess I don't know. It was just like a lot of weird things coming at me all at once.
Like as you said earlier, it's like the director is just throwing things at the screen and seeing if they stick.
It's like they literally had set pieces for ideas, and they were like, okay, well, we just have all these already made.
Yeah, like you I feel like you, like obviously I'm not a director, so you know this is all opinionated, but it's like I feel like you could have arranged it slightly differently to make it make more sense. You know,
I did like that the U.S. senator looked like a Dracula-ass looking motherfucker. Like he is some awesome Dracula dude, and I'm like, hey, they got that right. But I do love the voices of some of these characters. That's more of a thing on just Guilty Gear as a whole for those characters. But like Johnny is played by Wakamoto Norio. He's like does like all like the deep voices. He's like the Emperor in Code Geass.
Yeah.
He did like his like amazing roles throughout his life.
I just have to say,
really, his voice.
I have to say real quick, I've never played Guilty Gear, but one of my friends has, and for years, my friend Karina, her name online has been Bull Sad Guy. And so when his name popped up on screen, I was like, I had an out of body experience. But it was also so wrong because it was Soul Bad Guy.
Ratings?
3 out of 10.
Same.
2, actually.
Yes.
I'm just like,
the only reason it went up for me a little bit is because the fight in the castle was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the only thing that really piqued my interest.
Oh, I do want to say Johnny sounded drunk.
He did.
Which I don't know if that's like, because there's a part where I'm imagining that Wakamoto Norio is just like cashing it in at this point. It's just like he's just drinking on the job. He's like, oh, fucking give a shit with this. Pulls up with the highball. And just goes to town. Or if that was just good acting, because Johnny's at a party and Johnny does drink. So maybe that's it. Anyway, pretty bad. I would not recommend it.
I would not recommend this.
Me neither.
All right. Well, I think for that, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. All right, so let's get into the next one. So, the Wheel of Fortune, the sort of end of the universe wheel theme. It's going strong, and it's oh
yay!
Doll, no,
Panadol.
Fucking Hanadol.
Okay,
Oh,
Panadol,
God.
reinterpretation
Dear
of
God.
flowering.
Okay, yeah. It's all reinterpretation of flowering. The studio is A-Real. Director is Takata Masahiro. Oh, there was a notable work that I just thought was funny that he did, which was called Yes Ka No Ka Hambunka, or Yes, No, or Maybe Unless.
Unless.
So that's the director.
That tells you absolutely nothing about the story.
That does tell you absolutely nothing about that. But anyway, the writer is R/0 or R/O. I'm not exactly sure. No other notable works I noticed. But yeah, I guess run us through the description real quick if you could, Crispy.
So, Hana doll. The Hana Ningyo project, or flower doll project, exists to artificially create the perfect idol by implanting a special flower seed inside a body. The franchise follows the growth of young men who dedicate their lives to the project.
Okay, can I make a really quick comment about this?
That's it. That's it.
That's the only.
That is the whole blurb, which
God, no, it's so much more insane. God, yeah, go ahead.
I saw the title, right, and I immediately thought, okay, female cast. I did even when I read the blurb, I skipped over the fact where it said men, and I assumed it would be an all-female cast.
Yeah, like.
And then when it started, I was just like, why are there all these like pretty men?
Oh my God. Where do I even begin with Hanadol? Like this. Okay, this show I think was definitely up there. I feel like with the most like what the fuck for me. Okay, so they're doing interviews. The different cast members are doing their interviews, and it's like very darkly lit and creepy about how they're looking at these like people for auditions. And I already know something's like gonna get like fucked up's gonna happen. But then it just goes into that they have a fucking nano machine in their brain to make them into good idols, and it's just I don't know. There's this element where it was just like an out of body experience. Where I was like, what is happening right now? Like I don't really know what's going on, but I guess we took that operation to become.
The way that it's shown makes it seem like they've made them forget.
Yeah, so there is some weird element there. Like they have amnesia, but some of them don't. Some of them
kind of remember.
But they also know that they did go through surgery. They just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And apparently what's been put into them is a seed or...
They know that, they know that there's like a seed in them, but they're like, I haven't noticed any changes other than my hair color changing.
Which I feel like that's dramatic. That is so dramatic.
I don't know. It's like, it's just a hellscape. It's like this like idle hellscape. Why would you put yourself into this situation?
I think it speaks possibly to a larger dystopia.
Yes.
In society.
I think that's a fair take.
Maybe.
It's like if we're thinking like idols, there's always kind of like this sort of fucked up manufacturing of who they are and whatnot, and to like the idea that there would be this dystopian universe where they're like, we need to fucking create nanobots that will like form the perfect idol.
Yeah.
Is very dramatic in a way that is at least like kind of contemporary critique.
No, I think it is. It's interesting if you look at it as a critique of, say, K-pop.
Yeah, like K-pop.
Well, I mean, it's the same with the idol industry here.
Yeah, I mean, or well, Japanese idols kind of stuff.
Or just like idols in general, really.
Idols in general, these sort of groups.
I mean, you have issues of like people, they're not allowed to have real lives. They have like really high like depression rates. It's not really a good life. But I mean, you could also take that a step further and say that's the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Because then some of these characters had like different backgrounds in entertainment. Like especially the purple-haired guy. He seemed very jaded.
Yeah, so I think what did they call him? Hitoni?
Well, that's what the guy who called everyone.
Yeah, well, he's like messing with them, but I put here that he is the eternal witness, likely, because he seems to remember everything, or seems to at least realize what the stakes are. Which is funny though, when it feels like he's still. I feel like if he knew what the real stakes are, he'd be like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." But I guess he doesn't. I don't know. There's this element where he's been living. It almost feels like he's been living through all these lives. Of them trying to succeed and maybe failing, and maybe, who knows, maybe there's a loop or something.
Have any of you ever read Battle Royale?
No.
No. Okay, wait, sorry. Battle Royale, that's like the Casino Royale?
No. It's the book that the Hunger Games is based off of. It's a Japanese book.
I think I have heard of it. But yeah, it's based on like a last man to the death kind of thing for like a...
Middle schoolers. For middle schoolers.
For middle schoolers.
Yeah, so it's like, it takes place in a dystopian world where every third year middle school class is put in a lottery, and one third year middle school class in Japan will be chosen, and they have to have a death battle. They're sent to like a island to fight to the death. And so there's one character, and he like became kind of like a trope in Japanese media of he was in the previous death game, and then he transferred schools because he had to repeat that year, and then his
And he
next
gets
school,
selected again.
yeah, and he's like freaking the fuck out.
A lot of death games do have usually, like you said, that trope of someone who kind of is in the know of like what's going on, which usually makes you think that like, oh well, then they would just immediately win. But it's like, there's more to it. So yeah, I think there's some element there. I guess the only funny thing is that the show is also coming at it from a perspective of we're also, it's an idol show.
Yeah, they're idols.
It just leans fully into like, yeah, but like this is an idol show, so they gotta like get good
Yeah.
and become cool idols. Maybe there's like an interesting story there. It was production value side.
It was
I don't know what
bad.
we think. It was pretty
Yeah.
rough. Yeah. So
It could have been interesting, like seeing them having to work through becoming idols, but it's like because that is difficult to animate, like the practicing and dancing, they just cut through it. So it's like,
and oh yeah, true. They just cut right through the dancing. They don't want to actually show it. The concept I think does have like I guess potential legs. It's a little. I mean, it's extremely contrived.
Yeah.
Concept. The stakes do seem kind of cool. I guess that's the thing. They haven't really like shown
We
what
don't- yeah,
happens.
we
In
don't
the first
know.
episode, they don't tell us what exactly happens, which hints at a larger mystery. Which
Yeah, as well as the fact like you've got that mix of science and art and technology, as it says, and it's just like how will this actually affect them?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
how many
Yeah.
trials have they gone through since like before then to figure out how this actually works? Like,
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. It also feels like a Terrace house or like a Terrace house, or like something where
like a
they're
Big
all
Brother
stuck
kind
in
of.
that.
yeah, or like a little bit like Big Brother too. Actually, Big Brother it's probably closest to because it's like they're all in this house which like monitors their health and everything, and it's like
That's true,
It's kind of
yeah.
this like
They have to-
weird
they have-
sci-fi.
Yeah, they have to do those health check scans every morning.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. There is this like element of weirdness to it. I do think it's funny that their instructor is like fucking crazy. He's like, you gotta get your shit together. Like he's just like the normal guy here.
Taskmaster.
And I guess there's this sense of urgency that we don't know why. Like
Right.
why is there this insane sense of urgency to become ready to perform immediately? Like it just to me it just seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, I think idols generally do have like a shorter, like from conception to first song. They do have that.
Yeah.
like,
Okay,
little
yeah,
shorter
they're not making any money.
Yeah,
either.
they're not
I mean, they're not making money.
Yeah.
It's a big investment.
Which
They're like,
mean-
you gotta get a
Which
return
means
back
they
on
do.
that
Then they do
surgery.
have to.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Yeah, on the
surgery,
fucking
damn.
Surgery, damn. You know how much that operation was? Yeah. So,
So
it's,
much
it's
money.
it's kind of fucking crazy. But yeah, I think in this sort of shitty show, there is like a at least a commentary on the state of this type of genre.
I think it's another show
or
that
industry, I should
that
say.
had very lofty goals,
Yes.
and not good production.
maybe too lofty. But
Yeah.
I mean, and who knows? Maybe the source material somehow does something with it. But you also know they're gonna sell it as like it's an idol show.
Well, so then that brings us to our next question.
Yeah.
Who's your best boy?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. Okay,
who's-
wait.
Who's our best boy?
All right, Hanadol.
I have my answer.
I am incredibly bad with names.
Well, you just say what color. They're color coded for a reason.
I need to see them. I forgot. I need to see them.
I have watched so many anime over these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, can you imagine? I'm getting them mixed up with Classic Stars, which is another one. I'm always getting mixed up. Oh, I liked Chito.
Oh, Chitose. That's my
Chitose,
favorite too.
yeah,
he's so real.
He's so real.
When they were when the older guy was like making fun of the younger guy and was like teasing him, and Chitose was like, "Let me in! I want in on
Yeah,
this."
let me. I don't want to tease him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. He's just fun. He's just like a goofball.
yeah. He's very sleepy too, which is
Yeah, everyone else is just very boring.
I know.
Everyone's very boring. I mean, like even for cliche types of
Mm-hmm.
characters, like even then it was just like it was just Rihito and Mahito just like fighting over and over again.
Well, like not even fighting. Just
They're not even like actually fighting.
Yeah.
They're just like you suck. No, you suck, dude. Come on, let's work together. No, I won't.
Well, Mahito's more like a pushover. He's just like, okay, what if I do suck?
It's like you suck. I don't know. It was very mid. Outside of I think a general potential of concept. How about you, Azumi? Who's your favorite?
Look, I'm trying to remember who had what kind of personality. To be honest, I really liked Sleepy Guy.
Oh, Chitose.
Yeah.
He's all of our favorites.
Okay,
No,
Chise.
I did really like Chise because he's like just the epitome of doesn't want to do anything but is an idol,
Yeah.
which is like I love that. Like I just love like the contradiction.
He's like, let's just hang out, guys. I love it. Oh, he's a showman. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Right,
He's a
right.
showman, and that's what he's here for. He doesn't really care maybe about the idol aspect.
I did really like the group dynamics, like with the different types of characters we've got. Like, granted, it is like a selling point as well because you've got different personalities, different colors, blah, blah, blah. But I did really like their group dynamics.
I completely forgot the one dude existed, the blue-haired guy.
The medically the
Oh, Dyoga.
yeah, he has a weak body. He has medical issues.
Yeah, that was right. There was definitely this like kind of spicy dynamic between him and the big the dad of the group. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I was
Was
getting
there?
vibes of he's a.
Kringle's been reading Hanadal fan fiction.
Certainly has.
Have you been looking at my history?
Yeah.
No, I totally have, and I ship them.
Yeah.
I ship them 100%.
Blue and green.
Blue, yeah, blue. I don't know their names. Blue and green, yo, they fucking.
It would be kind of interesting if this show actually got really popular and got better in the later episodes. It would be really funny to see which pairings were the most popular.
I do think it has if it does actually like somewhat follow through and being like at least coherent. I think it could actually have a little bit of like a cult following of just
It
how
could.
ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it will hit those heights personally, but
I don't think so.
I'm open to being optimistic
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. So do we want to go? Anything else you want to say, or just go on to our scores?
Not really.
No, that was I just had to ask about this boy.
I did want to say one more thing. I think we may have already gone over it, but the boys, all of them, presumably, have like traumatic backstories.
Oh yeah, they hint at it.
Yeah, hint
they
at it,
didn't. They
yeah.
didn't actually like tell us.
Yeah, no, I think we found out
There is
about
a
one or
lot of
two of them, which
drama.
was hinted at, like family stuff. With
Yeah,
one of them,
that's
but-
right.
Or green hair guy keeps having flashbacks about some other boy.
Drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe they got something there.
Very dramatic show.
Very dramatic show. Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways it takes itself incredibly seriously.
Incredibly
like
seriously.
to the point
Yeah.
that if any like there are definitely moments where I feel like I would just start laughing
Yeah, right.
if it like does not land properly. So yeah. Yeah, so for me, I rated Hanadal. I actually gave it a really low score, but I feel like I should maybe retroactively raise it. I gave it a 4 out of
Okay.
10. I just thought it was pretty bad. I don't know. I thought the concept. I think now talking about it a little more, maybe I'd bump it up to a 5.
Really? Oh.
Okay, what do you think, Crispy?
A 1.
I'm a,
Don't say it. Don't.
at
say
my
it.
heart, I'm a hater. I gave it a 2 out of 10.
Hanadal.
But I did like our discussion. I'll give it a 3.
There's an ironic love I have for this, like,
Yeah.
but in an also like kind of real love. I think is coming through. I'm post irony at this point.
I see. Oh, well, okay. I have to say, for a show about idols, both the art and music were not good. So,
Yeah, true.
So,
Ah, shit, you're right. Maybe it goes back to a 4. You're right. You're
Okay.
right. That was pretty rough.
okay, then I'll give it a 3. You give it a 4.
I'll go 4. All right.
I'm gonna like be different to either of you and give it a 5.
5.
Okay, one of the reasons is like this is like granted there are a couple idol shows I think we're looking at, or like kind of band idol music shows we are looking at over this, but like it's so different to everything else that we've discussed so far that I'm just like good, a breath of fresh air.
Well, true. Yeah. No.
Not isekai.
Maybe that is
adjacent.
what's happening. Is I'm
yeah,
is
and, like I like the concept of
Yeah, the
like
concept.
technology, art, and everything else. I like the
Yeah.
concept of it, so I would be interested to see what happens through the story.
Yeah, if they do some sort of like time loop and they're able to like I guess land with that concept, that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see
I
where
don't
the
know.
story goes.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm like actually kind of interested in the sense that I probably recommendations wise, I don't think I'd recommend this. It's pretty bad. I guess if you really love all types of idol shows and you're looking for like a little bit of subversion to that concept, this is probably for you. Maybe just to try out.
I think
know.
I would recommend. Yeah, I would recommend it to a very specific type of person, like
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
who really loves ensemble stars.
Yes, or something.
Yeah, I would recommend it to people who like watching male idol shows.
Yeah.
Well, but even that, they have to like the dark, gritty drama.
that's-
I will say, I think the characters, as they're cliche, they're obviously going to be the type of like.
So we've
model
watched a lot of
figure.
shows today, and we just
But,
want to
like,
let you
I
know
do
that
think
these
they're
are our
likable,
opinions.
Except for
If you enjoy a show that we discussed, don't
except
let our
for-
thoughts
yeah,
get in the way of your
he was the only one
enjoyment.
that I found to be. Like,
After all, we aren't just three nerds
Yeah.
with
That's kind
mics
of the
who
point.
still
That is-
All
haven't
the
gone to
characters
Comic
still
Con.
were like likable
But it made them
characters.
boring.
They were very boring, but like they're at least like maybe likable.
I think there's a point where you can kind of sympathize with Richter's feelings, where he's just like, we have to practice, we have to do this. Because like everyone else seems very flippant compared to him, and then you're just like, maybe we should meet in the middle here.
Yeah, I think we all kind of give it a very like strange sort of a recommendation with very conditional,
Asterisks.
yeah,
Conditional recommendation.
Yeah.
I would say. All right, well, with that then, let's get into the next one. Let's go. All right, back to the wheel.
Next.
Let's
Yay.
go.
Woohoo!
3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh shit!
Yes!
Oh man, you're talking about was this the one you're talking about headbanging? When I said headbanging, was this the one you're thinking
No.
of? Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
Okay, so this one is number 25. Rock is a lady's modesty.
Rock is a lady's
Yeah,
modesty.
It truly is.
It really, really is.
do be like that.
It do be like that though. Okay, so studio is Bandai Namco Pictures. They're like known for doing a lot of like long time shows, so like Gintama, Iruma-kun, just like a lot of long running series and whatnot. Director is Watada Shinya, and he's known for doing Gundam Build Divers. Writer is Fukuda Hiroshi. I don't have any notable works from him, so I'm not sure if it's anything maybe we're familiar with. But yeah, if you want to, someone wants to go through the description.
Yeah. So, this is the description. At an elite all-girls academy where refined young ladies gather, Lilisa Suzunomiya, now the daughter of a real estate tycoon after her mother remarried, is forced to abandon her guitar and rock music to fit in. However, her passion is reignited by sounds from the old school building where she meets a skilled drummer who shares her love for rock. Together, they embrace their inner rock stars, elegantly clashing and shouting their way through the academy in this captivating tale of grace and rebellion.
All right, yeah, this was a pretty interesting one.
I
pretty sick.
actually quite liked it.
I liked it
pretty
too.
good.
I liked it too. Immediately, I gotta say, thought it was funny with the like the start with some of the classical songs, because those were so good, and they're like, this is so lame. This is so lame. These girls just like this classic music. But the setting is cool in a sense, like this girls' academy where it's sort of set up that she is being sent there from her rich tycoon family to become a proper lady,
And she has to fit in.
and she has to fit in, and it's all about self-sacrifice and becoming a perfect mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So already very interesting dilemma to be put in as a young girl, probably trying to not be at all that.
But she is.
She wants to, I guess she wants to match that at
Yeah,
the school.
yeah.
And actually, I'm kind of missing, I don't think I have her what is her motivations for that again?
She didn't really say. She just wanted
She just
to
wants
do
to
it.
be. I think it's for like social
Right.
privilege.
That's what it seemed
prestige.
like.
Yeah.
She didn't. That was
yeah.
something
Oh.
No, and
I was
think,
confused
yeah.
about.
They hint in a backstory that something that happened in her home life
Yeah.
where she now needs to get money. But her heart is in rock, which is why she's resistant to pick up the guitar later in the show, because she was like, oh, I gave that life up. I'm never going back to that.
Yeah. I don't really get the money thing though, because her mom married the rich dude,
I'm not
and they have all that
sure.
money now.
They like hinted that something happened to her father who taught her how to rock and roll.
Yeah.
They hint at that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about like the setting, at least the initial setup of the first episode?
I liked it. It was probably one of the more original anime I've seen this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, no, I really like the fight between her, like the contrast of what she shows her classmates and what and her actual self. Like that was so funny, because you've just got this prim and proper look, and you've got this this narration of inner monologue going like rough and like straightforward dialogue, and it's so funny.
Yeah, it's great. Very great
Because
contrast.
and because it's even like the language she uses is beyond even what you'd typically expect for a high school girl.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
it's-
yeah.
Humble.
Yeah, and it's just like what?
Yeah, so that was always really fun. Which I would say that language is very fun and surprising coming from the other character we kind of get.
Right.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
what do you think, Crispy?
I loved it. I wasn't as like drawn into just like the, I don't know, like the everyday school life of it, but then they ended up like portraying it well. Also, the art, like the general usual animation and designs were really cool.
Yeah.
I think her hair is
Hair
very
is wild.
Hair is
interesting.
incredible.
It is wild. Yeah, that's like intense.
And the music was really good. I do have a complaint though.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't like the CG rigging for their band fight
Okay.
when they were playing the
Oh
intro.
yeah, true. Yeah. There were definitely
It
moments
was kind
though-
of sloppy.
There were moments though where it looked really good, where they used 2D over top of it. But like when they took like medium shots where they were back a bit for like showing both of their like whole bodies, that was when it looked really awkward.
So most of the time what they did during that scene was outward shots were CG, but then they would zoom in on the face and you could still see like the arm moving, but they animated all that.
Yes, yeah. But you thought that would still looked odd.
Well, because then you have that contrast going on.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It was kind of like you either need to get better, like have better CG models, or you need to do the whole show in CG kind of thing. I don't like when they do that.
Like I would agree with that. That I think it looked awkward at times. There were definitely moments where I was very surprised with the animation. I guess maybe I wasn't expecting it to be as good in some cases. I did like how they, I mean, with the drumming and whatnot. And I guess to clarify, this scene is kind of at the end when she comes and like meets. What's the other girl's name?
Kurogane-san.
So when they both meet at the end, Kurogane-san is like playing the drums and essentially challenges
It's like a duel.
to like
Yeah,
a rock
basically.
off.
Rock off, yeah.
But it's great. So it's like I love the whole thing where she's like, "No, I gave it up," and she's like, "Oh well, if you're shit, you could have just said that."
Yeah.
Anyway. I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do my best." But yeah, so like them playing, I thought it was at least cool when they were animating like her drumming felt accurate. I don't know how to play the drums, but it looked to me like it lined up with the actual music happening.
What Bandori does is they bring in a drummer and rig them up, and then put the models in over it.
Yeah, motion capture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that effort is at least cool.
Yeah, I think the contrast, like taking it back to like the characterization and stuff like that. So you've got Lilisa, who's got this massive, so our main girl, who's got this massive contrast between what she shows her rich school classmates and what she and how she actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got Kurogane, who seems extremely uptight and stuff. And then you've got how she just absolutely tears
Oh my
Lilisa
God.
a new
Oh
one
yeah, I love that.
to get her angry enough to play. And then she just yells at her at the end, like
Yeah.
full on yelling and
Yeah,
from
screaming in her face.
Such a quiet, like a very very quiet, well spoken, like young lady basically, and it's just the contrast is astounding.
I just love when she's like, "That's it," like it's so
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
lame. Like you're so fucking lame. It's like, oh god, I feel like in a lot of these types of like shows, I have to blossom with my skills and like rediscover my love. That everyone's usually like, yeah, like friendship.
Yeah.
I kind of love because of The Rock. Like what they're going for is that it's like no, fuck you, dude. But it's like it's so metal in that it would totally be like that's how you get a rivalry in a rock setting. Is
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude, you're trash. Like, and then you're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not, dude. Like, going like crazy. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
So I think that's like I love that dynamic. And
Yeah,
it's like
that
in
was
such
really
a
good.
short amount of time they were able to achieve that chemistry.
Yeah.
To be like, I want to watch more of these two.
Yeah.
So I think that was really cool. If anything, honestly, was kind of redeeming the episode because I do feel like it went a little long with the school. I think it went a little long.
I can
And
see that.
I get that it was the setup, and like that was probably because they wanted the ending to be so intense. It was such a good shock. But I will admit the beginning is a little long. That's my only complaint, really.
Something else I liked from the scene where they're doing their rock off, and I hope they do more of this. I don't like when Lilisa first was listening to Kurogane-san's drumming while she was trying to play guitar. She's like a dominatrix trying to like.
Like, I
Like-
forgot about
But
that. I
but
completely
like
forgot
the
about
way they, I don't know, the way they showed it
Oh, that's true. They
it was very like evocative of
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Vidisa would have been feeling.
I see.
It was an interesting hyperbole.
I get they kind of just throw that at you. They're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, what do you think about that? Like, I mean, I guess it's to be like an element to like, I guess the duel or whatnot of like who's winning, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, well, you also kind of want to make it a little evocative.
But what I was getting at is I do appreciate the hyperbolic analogy going on, and I hope they do similar stuff, but I'm saying I don't necessarily need it to be that, you know? I hope they continue with the imagery.
I see what you mean. It was cool that they had that
Yeah.
like aside.
Yeah.
Okay. The main thing I'll say is that I think it's a good message of kind of fighting against the sort of what society's expectations of you are.
System.
Yeah, fight the system, rock, go fucking hard, rocking out. And like I really love the little tiny scene where she's in the car and she notices, which is really funny. It took me out of it. She's in the car and like there's a dude playing like a little bit of like he's just like finger picking away on the side of the road. Like he's just a performer, like a local performer, and like this.
Oh, but it's like a long scene. You like
It is
see all
long.
these other people, and it's like the beauty of like everyday life. And then,
And then this fucking businessman's like, Urizera!
yeah, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this businessman just goes, shut the fuck up! Like it was just so out of nowhere.
I know.
It was just
It
like,
was.
it's definitely a bit heavy-handed with like society's pushing you down,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
They're taking art and they're fucking putting you in the dirt.
Yeah.
No, it is funny because I almost could see it coming because like you do see the businessman walking and he's just like looking, he like looks pissed as he sees this dude. How dare this guy play on the street, fucking asshole! Yeah, I just found that so
that was
funny.
so
That
funny.
was so fucking funny.
Okay, so
Wait, there was one other
Was one other
scene
thing,
I
yeah.
thought was interesting. I don't know if you guys thought it was weird too, but when her mom was introduced, and she
Oh.
like says hey to her mom, and then she's like, "Oh, gomenasai," like, and
Yeah.
has to like speak really properly to
yeah,
her.
that was actually something
Yeah, and she's
really
like, don't
interesting.
yawn in public.
Yeah.
Oh, it was that she
Yeah,
yawned.
don't yawn
that
in
was
public.
it.
Yeah.
Dear
No,
God.
I was just like, your mom married into a rich family.
Yeah.
Does that mean like what like did your mom came from a rich family too? Like where is this like rich person mentality coming?
Well, but also they're at home. Like
They're
nobody's
literally at
watching
home.
them.
They're
And
at
she's
home.
like, it's okay you yawn at home, but be careful
Yeah.
when you're in public. We can't be embarrassed in
It's
public.
very
It's just like,
weird.
what the fuck?
I'm like yawning in public.
I mean, it
When did-
establishes this type of world she lives
Yeah.
in. That's crazy.
It's crazy strict.
Yeah. So, review or I guess score. I gave it. Okay. Oh, how about you guys start? What did you get?
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay. Yeah.
It's my first good review.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Look,
Say with Spine probably too.
I'd probably give it the same thing, 8 out of 10. Like, there's a couple things, like, this isn't particularly my favorite genre of anime, but it is really good.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10. With like the potential that I think it would be an 8 out of 10. Like watching through it, I think I would enjoy it enough that it would be an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Honestly, I might continue it.
Yeah, I'm probably going
it's
to.
It's pretty fun. It's also a very unique concept. Well, probably not exact. I mean, it's girls in a band. I mean, there's
Well,
a million.
but-
Well, okay, but you have this really big juxtaposition of rich lady school,
Yes.
rich girl school, and then you've got rock, which is portrayed as very down to earth, very rough, and yeah.
There are stakes too. Like intense, being like, I can't show that I'm
Right.
a rock person.
Yeah, and
so there's a
neither
little
of them
interesting
can.
tension. There's interesting tension there.
That's something I wasn't. I don't think
Yeah.
Kurogane-san seemed really concerned
She
if people
isn't.
knew.
She left her pick on the ground,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
I feel like that would
She-
immediately
no,
be like
and-
everyone would be
and-
like, what the fuck?
And she was openly searching for it. She didn't mention what
Exactly,
it was, but she was just
exactly.
like, I've dropped something precious on the ground.
And she doesn't mind if someone saw it,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how confident are you?
So there's this element too where I guess we just want to find out like how is she able to be this proper lady and then also like switch to this other demeanor? Like if that's just her natural thing,
Yeah.
is Sabri a proper lady who doesn't really care? I don't know. I mean,
It's
so
a-
it's
well, see,
it's intriguing. Yeah, no matter what happens, she would be fine. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's interesting.
It is.
I think I'd continue it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely continue.
It's a fun show.
And recommendations?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, same.
I don't know who this wouldn't be for.
Yeah,
Unless you don't
right.
like music or don't like
You
girls.
hate
Or don't
music
like
and
girls,
women.
and you hate girls. All right. Well, yeah. So let's. I guess in that case, let's get to our next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
3,
2,
1. Witch
What's
Watch.
this? Witch Watch.
Witch
Okay.
Watch.
This is one of the last
Witch
ones.
Watch. Wow.
This is one of the first ones I watched.
okay.
This is one of
This
the
is-
last
yeah.
ones I watched.
Yeah, this is number 39.
All right, yeah. So Witch Watch studio is Beebury Animation Studios. They're known for Quintuplets, the Quintuplet show,
Quintessential quintuplets. Yeah.
Quintessential Quintuplets, 100 Girlfriends.
Oh my god.
And Magical Destroyers, which is a very fever dream of a show I remember watching one season. But anyway, director is Ikehara Hiroshi. They did 6 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
What?
And they did OP4. They directed the 4th OP of that show.
Oh, damn. Wait, that's like my favorite in terms of like animation.
Yeah, I mean, so that's pretty cool. Now, here's the kicker. He's the most notable director, but there are 6 other episode directors in this show. So we'll see, I guess, how that goes. The writer is Shinohara Kenta, and they were known for Astra Lost in Space. It was popular for a bit. I think it has like a decent score on
Never even heard
or
of that.
whatever.
Neither.
They get lost in space. What can I say?
I guess.
So yeah, it already higher production value, but I'll let people kind of take over for description.
Synopsis. Nico Wakatsuki has finished her 6 years of witch training and is moving back to town by herself. As a new witch, she must choose a familiar to accompany her. However, unlike the other witches, she wishes to pick a non-animal familiar. There's no better companion than Morihito Moi Otogi, her childhood friend who happens to be an ogre, or Oni. Morihito is vehemently opposed to being her servant, but he reluctantly accepts his fate after learning that a curse would revert him into a strange cow-tiger hybrid were he to disobey a witch's order. Due to Morihito's father leaving for a business trip and Nico's mother remaining behind in the witch's holy land, the two teens find themselves living together under the same roof. While Nico is ecstatic to be living with her crush, Morihito finds that her magical antics and overall clumsiness create more problems than solutions. With a prophesized disaster to befall Nico within the year, Morihito must do everything he can to protect her as her bodyguard, while also upholding his duties as her familiar. That was very long.
Yeah.
Definitely some things in there that were not in the first episode, but yeah, I don't know what you guys think.
It was alright.
I was kind of bored.
I thought it was cute. I thought
It was
I thought it was
cute.
a cute little
It was
show.
cute.
I thought it was a cute little show. So yeah, they have to live together. It's kind of this whole thing where they're childhood friends, and then she goes off to witch school and she comes back. This girl is like madly in love with this.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, she
madly
is.
in love with him, but in a sort of like cute, innocent.
It is.
Yeah,
it is cute.
It is cute, yeah. And I like how he's just like completely oblivious.
Yeah, he's completely oblivious. Nor does he really care.
He doesn't really care. And I don't think, from what we've seen so far, he's not really aware of her in that way either.
Yeah,
Which is kind of nice.
yeah. I guess they will like have more probably moments where he's like, oh, I do kind of feel
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit more about.
I mean, it's two teenagers living together. What else do you think?
So it's kind of silly. I do like how silly her magic is.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like super goofy and like incredibly dangerous all at once.
All I can think is you'd think after going to witch school she'd know how to use it better.
She knows how to use it at least. Because I guess what they did. Yeah, I know better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have a lot of discipline that they taught in that school about any of this stuff. Ethics included.
Look, the magical shenanigans they do get up to are kind of fun, but they're also kind of like, what?
They're very random.
Yeah.
I think it's this thing where, as cute as it is kind of like a 4-panel manga.
It is. That's
actually?
exactly. Well,
no,
I
it
don't know.
isn't.
I don't know if that's the source material.
I don't think it's actually a
but
4-panel
that's
manga.
exactly what it felt like to me.
But it felt, yeah, it's like we have magic. We're gonna do a 4-panel manga chapter, if that, of just like this happens, this happens, this happens. It's magic, downside of magic, problem, solve problem, where the stakes are very low. Well, I guess I'm not completely wrong. No,
they're actually pretty high.
Multiple times people were almost dying. Like the paper one was like, holy shit.
my God.
Yeah. And for well, it's the second time magic's used in it. But yeah. I'm also kind of like, how do you not care for other people's belongings, girl? Like,
Yeah, she like smashes his cup.
no. She smashes the window, and then she's just like, "Do you have something precious which has memories attached to it that you can give me to repair the window?" And it's just like, Dude, like, how can you just, like, flippantly regard... Like, how can you regard someone else's possessions so flippantly?
It's definitely like an element of
It's like, how...
she's
yeah.
it's supposed to show she's so out of touch. I don't
Yeah, she certainly is out of touch. She's okay. She's not an asshole about it, but she is incredibly out of touch.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, it's kind of like a detractor. I think.
It's unrealistic, yeah, I guess.
Anyway.
Crispy, what do you think?
Honestly, it has a very like very fast paced. I need to have a joke every other line
Yup.
in, and also we're gonna yell a lot too.
Oh yeah.
Kind
yeah.
of
It's that kind of thing.
type of anime that I really get annoyed with very quickly, and it was that the whole time. And it was also just not a good first episode, in my opinion.
It wasn't very good.
It was
yeah.
not good.
I feel like they probably could have had more to like grab people, especially because the thing that I felt was the most like intriguing about the show was just the OP at the end. And I'm like, wait,
exactly
what
what
the? I'm like, what
yeah.
show did I watch? This
That-
OP is way
the OP
cooler
was
and so
crazy.
good, and
Yeah.
it like makes it more like okay, this is like a comedy, but like maybe some crazy stakes
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So I guess like that was probably the biggest like grab.
I
for me.
know.
But I'm like, but that show that I just watched was not nearly like
nothing.
that.
Oh yeah, no, the contrast was.
So I guess they kind of got me because I'm at least like curious about the direction
Yeah.
of the show. But I don't know. It's like I feel like that was not a good showcase of the
Yeah.
first episode.
I saw the opening, and they play it at the very end of the
Yeah.
first episode, and I was like mesmerized.
Yeah,
one,
it's so good.
One, Yoasobi does the opening, which
Yes,
is like
yes,
crazy good.
yes,
but
super
then
good.
like, well, actually, I have to say, I really love. Yoasobi's been going in like a different direction with like Idol for Oshinoko, but like they kind of brought it back to their old vibes with this song, which I really like. But the animation is like crazy.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Definitely
And
the best like OP this season.
it tells such a good story.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
so compelling that like I was like, I want to watch this.
Yeah,
like,
what the hell this was. This looks
Like-
awesome. And there's like, there's like all this like symbolism and like memories that are being shown up about people's potential pasts and stuff like that. That it's like immediately I'm getting gripped into being like, okay, yeah, I want to know more about the show.
Yeah.
Except like, I guess that first episode was really bad at trying to showcase any of that.
Exactly.
So, unless the show just goes in a completely different direction.
But I just highly doubt that. It
you never know
for
with
me,
serial
but it felt like after watching that opening, I was like so hyped, and then I just like felt like such a sense of disappointment because I'm like, it feels like the show that's never going to live up to the opening that it.
Yeah, they kicked that out of the park. Holy shit.
That was crazy good.
Yeah, so,
Ratings, guys.
yeah, ratings. I think we're kind of done with this one. Dude, I put it as a 7, and then after seeing the OP, I put it to an 8. I'm like, that's wrong. I shouldn't do that. It's a 7. I'd say for me. 7.
I would say it's a 6. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite. Like, obviously, I'm biased. This isn't my favorite type of show, but it didn't really resonate with me much, and the comedy didn't also resonate with me very much either.
I have to preface this to say I am curious about the show, and I might continue it just because of the opening. And I think the premise is cool. I just think it was a really, 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 really bad first episode.
Yes.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay, damn, shit. I think on its merits of being a 4-coma or like a 4-panel manga.
If it is.
If it is that, it was probably a pretty good 4-coma manga.
guess.
I guess. I don't. I thought it was cute, and I thought it was at least entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So to me, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
would too.
I'd recommend it.
I'd recommend it. Don't expect, I guess, anything crazy, but I mean, who knows? Maybe
Maybe,
there'll
yeah.
be some crazy shit that happens. So.
And I also want to say, like, the 5 out of 10 is for me and my tastes. This isn't the kind of show I like usually, but there's a certain type of fan that I would say, oh yeah, you would love this.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're just looking for a lighthearted,
Yeah.
cute slice of life, maybe, or if
Maybe-
you're looking
maybe,
for an
well, I don't
intense
know.
or an intense character
Yeah.
drama, maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know. We'll have to see. All right, well, I guess that's kind of our thoughts on Witch Watch.
Yeah, let's see what's next.
So next we have 3, 2, 1.
It's
Ooh.
wait. Oh,
Oh.
Apocalypse Hotel.
Apocalypse Hotel.
It's a good one, folks.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
All right, yeah, so next we have Apocalypse Hotel. Studio is Cygames Pictures.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Director is Shundo Kana. They did lots of work storyboarding, so this is actually their directorial debut.
Oh.
Writer for the script is Murakoshi Shigeru, who did Zombieland Saga and Dororo.
Oh.
So quite a few like fun things, I'd say, here. The director is new, so I mean, I guess we'll get into it. I guess we'll first for description.
Yeah, okay, so Apocalypse Hotel. Many years have passed since humanity vanished from Earth, yet the Galaxy Tower Hotel in Ginza, Tokyo, continues to operate. At the center of its staff is Yachio, a dedicated hotelier robot, along with other employee robots working tirelessly in various departments. Together, they spend what feels like an eternity maintaining the hotel, despite having no guests, as they await the return of their owner and the day humanity reappears. Now, a small miracle is about to change everything for Yachio and her robotic colleagues.
Okay. Yeah, thoughts.
It was really
I liked
good.
it. It was
I really liked
good.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked it too. Cool concept.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Humanity is killed by pollution. The air, they cannot
No,
breathe. Like the
okay.
disease,
They
it was
left
a disease.
Earth.
They left Earth
Because
there
they
was
were
a-
dying.
Because
Because there was
they
a
were dying,
pollution disease.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like they couldn't. It's like oxygen became toxic or something.
Yeah, didn't they say there was a gas?
Yeah, it was like
coming
a
up?
gas. It was like a gas virus or something, which was like toxic.
It's like scarily realistic.
I know. Well,
I was like, this
put
could
in my
totally
notes.
happen.
I put in my notes. It was kind of interesting. It kind of felt like they were referencing COVID being an airborne
Yeah,
virus.
yeah.
The way a lot of like customer service industries had to close down
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
pandemic.
Well, I guess it was a robot hotel before the pandemic.
it was. It was
Right,
half
right,
and
right.
half, really. Yeah.
So, like, it wasn't robot. They didn't create the robots with the expectation that it would be better to have robots than people.
No,
It was just
that
it
was
happened
just,
to
that
be
was
at the
just
right time.
That was the progression.
And they
of how
just
it was
ended up
going.
losing all their customers.
Yeah,
'cause
of
they
course,
died
yes.
or left.
So I think it's a cool concept. Like,
Yeah.
they're just going about their work, doing their same thing over and over for
Yeah.
thousands and like days.
They,
and
they,
whatnot.
Yeah.
and I love how they show that like the monotony and how
Yeah.
many days they've done it, because the way they animate it and the way they storyboard everything for it is so good. Like
yeah.
you get the feeling of repetition without being bored sitting there for 5 minutes
Yeah,
going, oh my god, kind of.
Yeah, there was a lot of like variation of shots and like making sure that there's like something new you're kind of seeing with every time you like see them going through a day.
Yeah.
It also like was great. It like so naturally fell into the comedy, like
Oh,
into
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the type of comedy they're going for. Of like they're not making jokes. It's just like
It's just funny.
these little poor
It's-
robots
I
doing their
know.
best for the
And they're
hotel,
so
and they're
cute.
so cute. Like it's so
Yeah.
easy to root for them.
Oh, yeah, it still is.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
the doorman.
He's
He is-
so
I
good.
love- He's like
He's so
this
good.
is my purpose in life. I want to be a doorman. Do you know the perfect type of way to open a door? It's,
Yeah,
so good.
I love that gag. Like it's a really nice repeating joke, and it's nice and repetitive, but it also doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yes,
It's
it doesn't
funny,
feel
yeah.
annoying.
It's funny without being annoying.
Yes.
which is something which a lot of comedy, especially the repetitive type, gets really old really fast.
But it's like snappy too.
It is.
When he like passes out for the fifth time,
Yeah.
it's just like
It just cuts
it's
to
cut,
her.
cut like splash of water, cut back, and
Yeah.
then and it's like you've already laughed and now it's moving on. It's
Exactly.
great.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
great.
it has a very deft understanding of making sure that the time is like moving and progression is happening.
Yeah, no, and that's
while still
another-
characterizing.
Yeah, that's another thing I really like about it is how they handle time, like sunrise, sunset, like the start of the day, the end of the day. And you've also got like a focus on like Japanese hospitality.
Yeah,
Because you've
yeah.
got that little employee speech in the morning where it's just like,
Oh my God.
let's do our best. And
Yeah,
and
Daily Uchiawase.
yeah, daily uchiawase.
yeah,
Yeah.
daily talk.
Daily talks,
daily
yeah.
meeting.
And the thing is, as we're introduced to like life over the days, over the months, they do actually have slightly different variations of that employee speech every
Yeah.
morning.
Right.
Which also, it's really nice.
As a weird kind of aside, I worked in hotels for 3 years.
Oh, right.
So it was really kind of like cozy when she's like, oh, doing night batch for the day of 0 people. Or like, we have 0 check-ins a day and we have 0 expected check-ins this week. That's
Yeah.
like, it was like kind of funny to be like, it was the same updates I remember getting when I worked in that
And
space,
our
I
goal
guess.
is, was it 1,400 customers this month?
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
goals,
Yeah,
like we're trying
and-
to get more people.
Yeah, and like
which
this
really
is
funny.
these are the promotional activities activities we can do to get more people. And it's
Yeah,
just
it's so
like,
cute.
you're just sitting there like, I'm so sorry.
But she knows too.
Like she
Yeah.
knows, and I think that the real heart of it comes when you realizing more of like all the robots lost along the way. Like it's so it's
Oh my
so
God.
sad.
That was like
That was
really.
That was almost, I don't know how to put it. It was almost gory.
It was,
Seeing
yeah.
The one robot where she has
shocking.
Hole going through.
yeah, so when she gets like we so and so disconnected, and she
Yeah.
goes and finds him.
So to elaborate, one of the robots is missing. So Yachio goes to look for the robot who was supposed to be working on like some hot spring area.
Yeah, it was a drilling robot, mining robot.
Right. And she gets there, and there's a pole going straight through him, like a metal pole.
So that was mysterious because it's like,
Someone do that.
they made
Yeah.
it look like a murder.
Yeah.
Like, he was like
I know.
stabbed all over.
Yeah, and it's like-
and
and-
like bleeding
yeah.
oil, which was
Yeah.
like really like
Yeah.
I never
was very-
felt more like shocked from the death of like
Oh
a
my God.
robot.
It reminded me of Nier.
Oh,
Automata.
yeah. No, I was actually going to say, the
True.
post-apocalyptic Earth with extra vegetation and
Right.
life was just like, it's very much like the city area in Nier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
also it obviously gives a lot more Nier vibes as well, and as well as like the deer and the forest shots you see and everything else. It's just, I love post-apocalyptic Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah, or like
same.
reclaimed
It's so good.
Earth.
Oh,
like
reclaimed Earth,
reclaimed,
yeah.
like
Right.
post-apocalyptic reclaimed Earth. I kind of
Yeah.
love. I also love the colors in this show.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This
It is
show
beautiful.
is beautiful. Like God, even just the part where she was walking to the stream to get like the water,
Oh,
I was already
yeah.
immediately
Right.
like captivated and like
Yeah.
sucked in. It was just so good looking.
Also, I want to say at the very beginning when it was like, I loved the pacing of like the hotel advertisement
yeah,
playing
yeah,
and
yeah.
then intermittently
Yes.
like
Yeah.
alerts about like world-ending viruses, but then the art style is so cute that it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're kind of like, what am I supposed to like believe
Yeah, what am I
here?
supposed
Yeah,
to feel?
because it's just like I'm kind of horrified about this virus, but like, look at these people.
Yeah.
like look at these robots.
But I love how they decided to do that at once.
I know,
So,
it
like,
was
it
so
was
good.
it was a perfect way to give you two different perspectives at once of what's happening and like the image of hotel that these robots have of it,
Yeah.
while also realizing, of course, like that humans are not going to
Yeah,
be
no,
here. This is the
it
background.
really quickly drew me in there because I was just
was
like,
good.
okay, you've got this hotel and this like because the start of the episode is literally the start of the hotel advertisement.
Yeah, the giant
and then
the
it just
advertisement,
suddenly
yeah.
like cuts across to this like news footage of this about this deadly virus, and you're just like, what? Huh?
Yeah, and like
kind of
people
thing.
are like
And you just- so-
escaping the planet, people
Yeah.
are protesting and all this crazy
Yeah,
shit.
it's,
Oh.
it just draws you in really quickly, and then like you go from like this devastating news and the hotel ad to peaceful hotel in the middle of Ginza with all these robots, and it's just like this is like it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really fun show. I mean, like, I think, of course, they go about, like, a couple different things, finding the onsen robot, or the robot trying
Oh,
to make
yeah,
an
yeah.
onsen,
Yeah.
hot springs, and then the, of course, their first guest.
Yes,
back
that was
After a long
that was
time.
cute.
I was about to, when they showed that it was, like, a dude, I was about to be like, what? But
but
then immediately I was like, oh, this show's going to be
it
awesome.
was awesome.
So they're going to be and the thing that hinted, I feel like, at the beginning for this was that they said in the beginning, we want to be the best hotel in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I
Oh.
immediately,
Well,
I
aren't
did
they called
think-
like the Galaxy Hotel? or
yeah, they
something?
are. I think they are. Yeah.
Oh, did I forget that? Oh shit.
I don't
Maybe it
know.
is the Galaxy Hotel.
The
They
Gal-
just
no,
said
no,
they want to be
the Galaxy Tower Hotel.
the Galaxy. Oh, okay, then it's perfect. Yeah. Immediately as I heard that, I was like, aliens, and then they confirm, yeah, at the
Yeah.
end, it's aliens, which
Yeah,
is
no,
gonna be really fun.
I also like how like we've got lots of mystery, sci-fi, slice of life, comedy kind of thing, but the mystery is also very much like it's very much in the background, but the mystery is there.
Yeah.
Because because
true.
as you see more of their lives and everything else, you start realizing that. Okay, life isn't actually as great for you guys as we think it is. It's not as repetitive as we think it is because there's little things which are just a little bit out of place, like how some
Kind of
robots have died
unnerving.
or
Yeah.
everything else. But it just all serves to kind of make you love these characters even more because they've overcome things where you've just like. Surely this should just be fine. You'd always just be still alive, no problems, no nothing. And then you find out that like at least 50 of them have just like gone out of service.
Yeah.
And it's just
Oh
like-
my god. And
yeah.
like her like bringing the body back
The
to like
graveyard.
the graveyard
Oh
of
my God.
robots.
Yeah,
I didn't even mention that before.
There's
That hit hard.
Yeah.
There's little things in the show which like serve as like huh? What's this? Like it kind of makes you think I need to know more. about like this
Yeah.
specific
Yeah.
thing, because you've got the hotel operations, and then you've got what actually goes on.
I do wonder, because they mentioned that they don't have supplies for like repairs
Yeah.
and things like that.
Oh,
True, yeah.
the shower hat,
Yeah, the shower hat.
the shampoo hat.
It's gonna be some alien shenanigans, I bet.
Oh,
Or something.
because his head
or
is like a
maybe his head is like a
it's like a shampoo hat.
maybe.
Maybe.
He's like a cactus man.
Because,
Well, but
because
I-
the doorman was wearing the hat at the end.
oh, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
doorman
right.
was wearing that.
So someone put it on.
Well,
No,
he
no,
put it on
no,
his
he
head.
put it- oh my
put
God,
on
sorry,
his
I
head
completely
because-
forgot about
He
that.
put
I'm
it
sorry.
on his head because he doesn't like the feeling of water going down
That's
his face.
right. Yeah, he hated that feeling.
But I loved the
And I
absolute
like that
sense
evolved.
of yeah. No, I love the sense of absolute panic where no shower, no
shower cap.
no shampoo hat, no shampoo hat, kind of thing. There's this
She was
absolute
so
massive
cute.
sense
Yeah,
of panic,
she's
which is
great.
absolutely great.
Yeah, and I like how, like, over the many innumerable days, they're still like slightly changing.
Yeah,
It's not just
Yeah.
the same. They're not really just the same robot they were when they came
and
off
I
the lot.
think you actually do get that sense of like the audience as an audience member, like seeing all this like out of universe basically. You get this sense that she probably has a lot more personality than she thinks she has. Like you get this impression that there's kind of like a soul behind it
Yes.
instead of just programming.
Mm,
So yeah.
they're cracks. Yeah.
That brings me to when the last scene when the alien's coming in and the doorman opens the door and she's like in complete despair because she's like, we're gonna have to close down the hotel because we don't have the shampoo cap. And then he opens the door and she's like, I told you to stop opening that damn door.
So good. It's like it was the perfect climax
I
to like
know,
this
yeah.
frustration she has been feeling. It was so
And
good.
then it's just sudden change into Yokoso Okyakusama.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Welcome to
welcome,
the
dear
store.
customer. kind of thing.
Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I think the show does a really good job. There was the one thing where they kind of going back to the not having supplies. I do feel like the show is smart enough to have a reason why it still has power.
Mm.
Why do they still have power
curious.
to begin with? That's kind of, I guess, I believe they would address that. It's a minor thing.
I would
it's just
thi-
they didn't
yeah.
mention.
I would
but
think probably solar panels or something of the sort.
Maybe,
Some kind
maybe.
of renewable energy which doesn't rely on, say, generators.
I would
would
be
think.
curious of the answer because, well, to be fair though, everyone died because of pollution.
That is true.
So I wonder if it is solar.
But they
clean
didn't say
energy?
it was pollution. They said it was
It was a virus.
It was a natural gas.
it was,
some
a
sort of natural.
deadly virus.
Yeah.
I thought it was something that was triggered kind of like by pollution.
It could have been, but
Maybe I'm reading into that too much. Anyway, but
Either way,
a minor thing.
yeah.
I'm just kind of
Maybe we need to
it's-
go back and
maybe,
see.
maybe we need to go back and watch
It might be part of the mystery, or maybe they
Yeah.
explain it in the advert.
I
But
mean,
regardless,
look to be
small
fair,
minor
to
thing.
be
I'm
fair,
just
that
curious,
first
though.
sequence was so fascinating that
Yeah.
it might have just slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess going for ratings. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
I would
9 out of
too.
10?
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Honestly, yeah, I think I was giving it an 8
Mm.
because maybe at the time when I watched it, it was good. Just wasn't like as hard hitting and entertaining maybe as like maybe I'd expect,
think,
but it was
yeah,
good. I
it's-
liked it. I really liked it.
There's
It did so much
yeah.
right.
There's certain kind
gotta
of
give it a
slice of life which makes it slightly slower paced.
Yeah, that
could
was
probably-
that was kind of my 1 point down.
Yeah, maybe that's it. It was a little slow
yeah, but
at
like,
times.
I think that's okay for it though because it
Yeah.
gives it that extra kind of difference from say another anime which might focus on say post-apocalyptic like regrown Earth basically retaken Earth, but there's no it's we're not talking about fighting things. We're not talking about like
Yeah.
aggression. Like we're not talking about having to fight off invaders or anything else. We're just talking about everyday life.
Yeah, and like the making, the workings of this
Yeah.
hotel. I also thought, and oh man, this was my big hook. This is my big hook for the show. The Tanuki family ending
I know.
of them bringing the
That's
Tanuki's
so
alien
cute.
family around, and I'm like, I need to see this more of this show so I can watch
Yeah.
that dang cute Tanuki family get showed
Yeah.
around
I
Ginza.
know.
That was super cute. But
It
I'm like, I
was.
feel like this is probably gonna be a very nice show. And yeah, it's got some mystery too.
It
So I
does.
think. Yeah, I think I would adjust it to a 9 out of 10. It was really good.
It was super
Best thing
good.
we've seen so
Would
far. talked about
definitely
so far.
recommend it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Everyone should see
100%,
it. Everyone should see it. It's good stuff.
No reason not to.
No reason not to.
Yep.
All right. So next, we're gonna do our last one before we get into a break. So let's hit the wheel. And
it.
Go.
Hit it.
Oh, what's this? What's this?
dear
Oh,
God.
oh, dear Lord.
No.
All right.
Dear God. Okay, Galactic.
I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire, number 13.
I'm the evil lord of a... This one's rough.
My notes are very big. Oh yeah, I'll get into.
All right. I am the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. Studio is Quad, that made the absolutely cursed dog show, I'm So-and-so's Dog, which is like a whole meme for a bit of this one where it's like a guy who's isekai'd as a dog, and he's like a pervert with his owner.
I've heard
it
of
was
it.
that.
Oh
So
my
he made
God.
that fucking thing. So it's already cursed.
Oh yeah.
Director Yanagisawa Tetsuya. He's the High School DxD guy.
Oh, okay.
So he directed High School DxD. And writer is Mishima Yomu, who I didn't see any notable works from him. He's made stuff, but I wasn't able to recognize anything of note. But yeah, so I guess for description.
In his last life, Liam lived as a moral, responsible person, but died deep in debt, betrayed by his wife. Reborn into the ruling family of a vast interstellar empire, Liam knows that life is divided between the downtrodden and the ones who will do the stomping. So this time he's going to take what he wants and live for himself. But somehow things refuse to work out that way. Despite doing his best to become a tyrant, Liam's decisions lead to nothing but peace and prosperity for the empire under his rule, and he just gets more and more popular. Popular.
What the? That even made me do a double take because it
pisses me off.
Yeah, that
even
even
more.
pisses me off even more. So this is incel anime. This is incel the show.
Yep.
So God, where
Okay,
do
you have
start?
to admit his last life was really horrible.
But
No,
it's-
I don't actually.
No, actually, I'm actually sort of with on this. We'll get into that. So
Okay.
okay.
I'm not saying it justifies what he does. I'm saying his last life, what happened to him was pretty horrible.
Okay, I want to start with very minor thing. I hate how they did the sci-fi of like whatever these mobile suit.
Oh my God, it was so
setting
boring.
thing. It's like a couple things. One, they just have mechs that just blow up everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like no stakes, no whatever at
No.
all. It's just like, mech fighting is just about just shooting rockets and blowing everything
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, so there's that. There's also the element that like a lot of the shows that they're kind of like referencing, like one, like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, like big giant battles with these huge ships and stuff like that. With those and mobile suits, the whole point is that they're usually like, yeah, isn't it awful the toll that these battles take and what war is like? Like all these
Right.
people
Oh,
die
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
awful. One of those ships blowing up, 1 million people dead. It's like crazy. So the show is like made by a guy who's just like, I think that's badass, and completely missed any of the point of any of that shit for just, I guess, the sake of whatever fantasy he wanted to write. But let's get into the real
I have
kernel
so much
of
to
this,
say.
of this nut.
I have
So
so much to say.
this is incredibly contrived. The contrivance of this man, this sad sack of shit
Yep.
that is essentially just living life on auto. He just goes to work, works at a black company, doesn't have any thought in his mind that he should quit, that he
Nope.
should do anything about that.
Nope.
He is just, I am just a drone. Can't I just live as a drone and go to this black company and feel sorry for myself and all this other shit? And guess what? Because he's never home, he doesn't raise his kids, his wife leaves him.
Yeah.
Though she does cheat on him, which I think is fucked. It is fucked that she cheats on him.
I have
That is
more
not
to say
good.
about that.
That's not good. Or the fact, I will admit, the fact that
The child isn't even
it's
his.
not even his child. And like I'm talking too much. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this?
So,
show? What do you guys think of the show?
I'm just gonna say my first line in my notes, other than boring and stupid, bad, annoying, deplorable. My next one is honestly just ideological porn for self-righteous
Yes.
incels.
Yes, that's it.
That's my summary of the show.
I was gonna say it's certainly set up for the type of revenge porn that it's
Yep.
going for.
Yep.
For people to, I don't know, get off of that fantasy of like, yeah, I showed those women,
Exactly.
those snakes, that kind of
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah. Look, if you
I don't know. What do you think?
if
Yeah,
you
before we can-
yeah, if you disregard his own, how do I put it? He had the ability to quit that job. He had the ability to do this,
Yeah.
to do that. If you disregard that, he had a pretty horrible life. Like
Yeah.
black company, it's not his fault. It was a black company. He should have quit, but you know,
I don't care.
His wife cheating on him is pretty horrible. Like,
Yeah. So
No,
if
I don't care
so
about
if
that
we-
either. I
So
don't
if we
care.
go, okay, so here's the thing, because we're looking at this also as the intention of the author.
Yes,
That's one thing we're
exactly.
looking at.
I'm not
If we're
looking.
going-
I
if we're
am
gonna
not
go- okay,
looking at it
so
like that. I am
inten-
just looking at it like through like.
So intention of the author aside, what we're literally seeing in front of us is a man working his ass off, I guess at the shit company,
To provide for his wife.
to provide for his family, and then he finds out, oh my god, I've been cucked.
Yeah, literally.
I've been actually cucked by my boss,
Who's also been
who-
trying to ruin my
who's
life.
also trying
Yeah.
to ruin my life. And I guess he my boss totally knows that I'm fathering his child.
Yeah, and is
but-
okay with
but
that?
my boss is like, it's like what? It's like it makes this whole. It's one of these things where someone just created the most like literal deplorable thing that could ever happen to anyone, and then was just like, that'll be totally great bait for making it awesome when he freaking
Kills innocent people.
yeah, kills innocent people and fucks women. Like fucks women up. Like
We're gonna have to.
Of the scenario, I think they had a chance to talk about how toxic and awful the Japanese work society is, and they didn't take it. It was right there.
Yeah, they did.
And they just blamed it on the woman.
Yeah, true. They just
and
diverted
the
all to woman.
boss. Like, there's a bigger picture here. The world
Well,
does not exist in a
and with the-
vacuum.
But here's the thing too, with like the cuck concept, the cuck concept. The cuck concept. The thing with the cuck concept thing, I love that. I want that now. The cuck concept is always the fact that the other guy cucking the other dude off. I don't know how I verb it. How do I use the when he cucks him hard? He's cucking him hard now. So in that shit, in the scenario, the other guy doing like the whatever, whatever that guy's doing, the guy who's the Chad, quote unquote.
the Chad.
He's always like, it's like, oh, he's winning. It's like, it's not like he's an asshole. It's he's winning. It's the woman that's the asshole.
Yeah.
So it's always this. So it's like this thing where they could have said something about, like the Japanese work system, or the fact that like this, I don't know, these people are like terribly abusive or whatever. But they just were like, we just want to put that. We just want to make it more of like the woman just being this snake, or whatever. The typical.
Women are bad, kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, so, and then after he learns that his wife is cheating on him, but it's not just that their child is actually not his child, it's his boss's,
And the child hates him.
and his child hates him and wants to live with this man who she only sees like once a week. The mom's like, okay, I'm leaving you. After all that, he goes back to work and gets blamed for money embezzling, which is the boss's fault.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of this whole sequence, well, okay, the guy sees in like a fever dream as he's dying
Yeah.
the ex-wife and boss having dinner, and the boss is like, are you okay blaming your husband for stealing all that money, like putting all the blame on her for everything that happened, even though he did it. He literally did it.
She's the actual mastermind. Man, freaking these snakes in the grass.
Oh
Like
my
it's
God.
just kind of it's just gross. It's
It
just a
is.
very gross view of like of just women, I guess. Just this gross idea that they're trying to screw people over all the time. The thing that's confusing to me. So here's the other thing. So on the face of it, the general concept, there is this element where I'm like, where I think there also could have been said something about the fact that, guys, if you go to work for a black company and all you do is go to work and then come home and you don't do anything to contribute to your family, to your family's chores or like raising kids or any of that shit, which is a very common thing in Japanese culture. That men are just like, well, I'm just gonna go to work. That's what I do, and I'm gonna come back home and
I don't
just
have to
fuck
raise
off.
the child.
I don't have to raise a kid or any of that shit. The wife did bring up, you're like literally never here, ever. So like it's this element where like he was a pretty shitty husband, which again I'm not gonna say justifies then people cheating, but
Well, Kringle, he bought a dog for them.
wait, did he? No. Wait, what?
He bought a dog for them that we never see.
Wait, no. I thought it was a whole thing where he was like, no, we don't want to get a dog, and they were like, oh,
Did
it'd be
he
nice
do
to get a
that?
dog. And he's like,
I'm-
nah, we're not gonna.
No,
get a
they
dog.
went to go look at dogs
I
together.
thought, well, yeah, but then
I think they did go to look at dogs, but I'm not sure whether they bought one or not.
maybe that is
Okay.
the greatest sin. We don't
But
know
it
if they
was-
bought the
it
dog.
was
Where'd
like-
the dog go?
Yeah,
He lost
where's
the
the
damn
frickin'
dog.
dog?
He lost the damn dog. Maybe the bro needed a dog.
What the dog
to
doing?
be- Yeah, what the dog? doing?
But it's like that was like the one scene that was put in to prove like, oh, he is a family
He cares
man.
about his
God,
family.
yeah.
And it's like, okay,
I
we
did not get that. I almost
one
was positive he
instance.
was just like, no, we're not getting a dog.
Well, no,
'Cause it's
he
more work.
He definitely he at first he said
sucks.
he said at first he said yes, and then they went to a dog shelter and they were looking at dogs together, and then she's like, "Are you sure this is okay to take off work for this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had a day I could take off."
Okay, maybe I just misremembered that.
Okay.
I never saw the dog, so it
Yeah,
never,
well, yeah,
it
but then
never-
the dog never showed up.
never showed up. We don't even know where the dog is.
Yeah,
Where is that dog?
What did he do to the dog?
What the dog doing?
Yeah. The only redeeming point about the show for me is that you got Natchan as our voice character.
But he barely voiced him
I
this
know he
episode.
barely voices him, but it was nice to hear him. And he does a
Who
good
is
job.
he? Who is he?
Hanai Natsuki's the
Hanai
main
Natsuki.
character.
He's the
Oh.
reincarnated our main character.
Oh,
They
I see.
actually
So it's
have
the
a
different-
lot of really good voice actors in it.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, Natchan does a really good voice. Sorry, Hanai Natsuki. He does a really good voice for it. Which is like the redeeming quality, I guess.
yeah.
He's got he did a really good job. It was cheesy, but it was like nice cheesy.
Yeah, I think I do think, again, on the face of it, it's not okay that people are cheating on people.
No.
Like, if we're going just on the face of it, unlike the revenge porn.
But everyone
Intentions of the work.
everyone is to blame.
But yeah, I think he is not alone. I don't think he's just this innocent person
No.
that like, oh, like I was just supposed to go by the books and just do whatever the fuck, like just drone away at my useless job. I don't know. It's definitely, they set it up to try to be like, oh, like we have to feel bad for him, but it's like, no, I don't feel like that much for him. Again, not good to cheat. But like, again, the whole scenario is so contrived. It's like I can't. It's just for the sake of being like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like in the next world or whatever. And God, is it boring? It's so fucking boring. His backstory. It's,
My last line in my notes.
how does a daughter even work with that? Anyway, sorry.
That was another complaint.
Oh, sorry.
But the fact that men with this level of persecution complex would fantasize about killing innocent people as revenge for reality not meeting their expectations is disgusting, and exactly how America gets school shooters.
Yeah, right. So I mean, yeah, kind of like incel anime. This like intense. The world owes me something.
Yeah.
The world owes me shit. And if not, fuck them up, dude. I'm gonna live for myself and fuck people up. It's just like, yeah, that's how you get school shooters and shit.
Okay,
It's
so yeah.
fucked. So yeah.
Ratings, guys.
As a work, god damn, what did I give it? I mean, as a work, I think I gave it like a 3 out of 10. But like as a
That's very
moral,
generous.
as a moral rating on how I feel about the show, it's definitely like a 1 out of 10. I like practically say it is definitely like offensive. It is an offensive work.
I still have more to say, so.
Oh,
do
sorry,
you wanna
sorry.
give your...
Sorry, I was just going to. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'll
if you wanna,
I'll give mine and then you can.
please take the floor.
Okay, I'm basically the same as Kringle over here. I'm just like, as a work, like the animation and everything, it wasn't terrible. So like 3, 4 out of 10. But like morally, story wise, I'm just like, nah, 1 out of 10.
It was entertaining how bad it was. I was like, sometimes my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
That's
fuck? God, what a
Yeah.
what a
So what about you,
dumpster fire.
Crispy?
So the story in itself was incredibly boring to me.
It was boring, too.
I thought the whole setup with the intergalactic empire, the way they did that was incredibly boring. Then the whole isekai concept was boring. The art was bad. The music was very grating on my ears, I'll be honest.
Interesting.
It was
Okay.
bad. The vibes, bad. I gave it a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I really thought about 0 out of 10. Yeah, not available in score. I guess we could. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it did not
it's
score-
pretty bad.
no.
It's pretty bad.
I would honestly. I think it's in the running for worst.
Yeah, I'd say so
season.
for now. For now,
think
I'd
so.
say it's
Just
definitely
for
that.
now, it's definitely in the running
I
for
feel
the
like there
worst.
was one more I had in the running for worse. I could actually talk a lot longer about how much I hate this show.
But is it worth
You have the
it?
floor. You have the floor if
Is
you
it
like.
worth it
No,
though?
it's fine.
Is it worth the breath?
Well, I want to say one last thing is that everything that happened in his life that he perceived happening to him is incredibly unrealistic. That never
my
would
God,
have
that
happened.
never happened. Like that does
That
not
is that
happen.
is the fucked up mindset that men with these kinds of fantasies that's how they perceive.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally that thing where it's like they're like, yeah, this happens all the time, dude. It's like,
No,
no,
it
it does
doesn't.
not.
No,
This
it
does
does not.
not happen.
Children also don't act that way about people who are in their lives.
No.
It's just like it's all incredibly hyperbolic, which like is fine. It's anime, and there's other instances of like characters who I would say like kind of like are portrayed as having this same kind of persecution complex.
Yes, 100%.
But the way they handle that is a lot better.
Yes, yes. I think it's kind of interesting when I think about the fact that like there always will be works that are going to be critiques of like contemporary issues that spawn out of those issues of being like, this is fucked up and whatever,
Right.
yada yada. But then there will still be works that spawn out of that shit not getting any of the right
Exactly.
points
Right.
about why it's fucked up, and
Right.
instead they like have completely found a separate like quote unquote answer
Yeah.
for why it's fucked up that I don't know, maybe
Isn't
they're just like
real.
not literate enough for, I don't know, some other shit where they think they know how the world works, and it's like
Right,
they're
right.
just so regrettably
Pissed
falling
me
short.
off. I was so angry after
Yeah, that was a rough show.
Yeah, that was rough.
All right, so on that note,
On that very rough.
would
note-
we recommend it? Would we recommend it? No,
No.
absolutely not. Run as far away as you can. So with that, we're gonna get into our next roll of the. Oh, actually,
We're gonna take a break.
We're
gonna
gonna
take
take
a
a break.
Wheel time.
the wheel. What are we calling this thing?
Um,
What is this thing called?
I don't know. The
yeah,
wheel.
I was gonna say the.
The ass.
Oh,
The freaking ass wheel's what it's
the ass
called.
wheel.
Oh,
This
this
wheel
one.
freaking sucks. God
All
damn.
right.
All right. Well. So yeah.
Wait, what's this one called again?
Makina-san is like a love. Is a love bot.
Makina-san.
Makina-san is a love bot.
Makina-san's a love bot.
Makina-san's a love robot. A love bot? A love?
Oh,
Like
a love
a
bot.
question?
Bot.
Well, it's gotta be. It's a question mark exclamation.
Makina-san's a love bot.
Oh, oh.
隠して。Makina-san.
All right. Starting us out, Makina-san's a love bot. Studio is Bloom Z. It's their second show. Director was Nishita Masayoshi. This is their directorial debut. And the writer is Sato Yoshimi, who I also did not find anything of note from. So, yeah, let's get that description.
Okay, for disclaimer, Azumi did not watch this because I was not interested and I just didn't watch it. I watched almost everything else. There are only two I didn't watch. Anyway, so
The
this
two
was
etchy anime.
the two ecchi
Yeah.
anime.
So yeah,
I'm just like,
this
I
is an
don't- I
R18
don't-
show.
I don't
Kids,
care.
avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
Not until you're old enough. You're decided that
She's not old enough.
she's not old enough. Okay, she's not old enough.
She's not old enough.
That Azmi's not old enough. He's not old enough.
I am mentally a child. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the blurb. This is the description. So Makina Agatsuma, the school idol, moves into the home of Eita Akutsu, an introverted mechanical otaku. Eita, who has secretly harbored feelings for her, thinks he's hit the jackpot, but it turns out she's actually a robot made for sexual purposes. Caught off guard by her sudden physical advances, the virgin Eita is at a I'll say that one more time. The virgin Eita is at a loss. Furthermore, he finds himself in a frenzy trying to help her maintain her secret identity. A romantic comedy with slightly risque mechanical revelations, where hilarity ensues as they try to keep the secret under wraps.
All right. I just want to say my first note is immediate titties.
Yeah.
Immediately. So you know exactly what you're getting into right away. Yeah, I don't know. What are our thoughts on this? Azumi, feel free to contribute anything to discussion if just based on what we're talking.
Yes, I will make my own assumptions based on what you two talk about.
Okay. All right.
So
There's not a lot to talk about if I'm being honest.
I want to qualify it, but we haven't talked about the other anime I want to qualify it with. So
Oh, I see.
it was more entertaining than I expected.
It wasn't like bad.
Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, like kind of like weirdly cute. Like the kid I feel like was like endearing enough as a
Right.
character. I also loved his little robot. The
I
little
know,
robot he was
the
working on.
robot.
Eita is like
Yeah,
very
so
endearing.
Eita is like he's just a guy who's like very into like robots, but like he's making these like cute little like robot like almost like from Apocalypse Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or like they're just these cute little ones.
Crossover.
Oh no, no, not Hotel, please. That is the worst.
please.
That's the most
Doorman
cursed
robot.
crossover. Cursed crossover. But it didn't feel like gross. I guess.
Yeah, not.
It was just literally just titties in your face. I guess. Like
the only
okay.
thing I would say was gross is just the fact that why would you make a high schooler sex robot?
Yeah. Okay, that's really fair.
That
That's
was
the weirdest part. Well, did they specify that she was made as a high schooler, or she was just supposed
They
to be a
commanded
hot person?
her to live a life in high school.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Okay. The other thing that I thought was like, I mean, of course, like all these other characters. I mean, probably the other weird thing is the fact that like any female character just has a gigantic tits, which that is, I guess, the show this is trying to go for.
No, Kringle. There is a child character too, who's also a robot that will come up later.
Child robot.
Yeah, and it's in the opening. There's like a blue-haired girl.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Oh god.
But
Okay, wait.
I don't know.
That's the type of show they're in, though.
I
That's
know,
not good.
I
Okay,
know.
so all right. Well, what do we saw? First episode.
Yeah, first episode.
First episode. I guess there's some intrigue in the fact that there's like some greater story happening.
Yeah.
With stakes.
Yeah,
that, like
actually.
this other robot lady who's like naked, just straight up naked all the time, and has a bunch
Yeah.
of like copies of
She just
herself.
likes it like that.
She is, I don't know, she's, I guess, like, there's some plan in the background. I did think it was funny in school that they had, like, the ethics of AI as, like, a part of their discussion.
Pretty interesting for the ecchi anime.
This is not what I was expecting, I guess. But yeah, so essentially she's in the school. She's, like, the popular girl. He then comes home to find her, like, naked, but also, like, some body horror where, like, her
Yeah.
parts are fucking missing and shit.
Yeah.
So he has to, like, repair her
Yeah.
and all that crap. That's kind of the episode, isn't it? He just repairs her.
He repairs her and
Place
then
blows up.
yeah, her place blows up, which is actually kind of funny. Like the way they showed that, I
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
she's
laugh
like,
out
they
of
gotta
me.
blow up, and like she's like, it's.
And
almost
she's like,
weird,
"What the
but
fuck?"
She's just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
like what? I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it got a laugh out of me. I'll be
So
honest.
like, yeah, it was silly. It was just silly. I think that's probably a good way to put it. And then yeah, I guess he fixes her up. I do kind of like that he's very like scientific with it. Like he's obviously initially like, oh my god, like.
Yeah.
But like eventually he's just like whoa, this
He
how
gets
does this
into it,
work? And
yeah.
like, whoa, how does this work? And he's like going through her schematics
Mm-hmm.
and shit, which I feel like they would have easily made into like, I'm going through her schematics. Oh, it's so I don't know. But like instead he's just like, oh cool, the,
Yeah,
the
he's
socket
just a
goes in
nerd.
here and the socket goes. I don't know. I think it made me at least like his character.
Yeah, and then she wakes up.
And yeah, she says that like apparently she's a love bot that was designed that way for like espionage.
Yeah,
Which I mean,
this is interesting.
there could be a plot there. There could be a plot.
Now
there.
that's a more interesting plot point. However overdone it has been as like a femme fatale kind of seduces whoever they
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
get information or whatever. That does sound like a very interesting plot point if they chose to pursue that.
Yeah,
it
which-
still doesn't.
I don't
it
think they
still
will.
Doesn't,
I mean,
it still doesn't improve the fact that she is designed as a high schooler.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, or at least that's her mission as of now, is to be a high schooler. So like, I guess she is designed as a high schooler, but
I think
well, wait,
she
no,
was-
no, she had other jobs. They said that she had other job, and then she's like, right now my job is to be a
that's
high
true,
schooler.
that's true.
So then
So
maybe it's less-
and I think they even said that she was like in a high class society, acting as this love bot. Well, they showed
Did
like
they say
pictures.
that?
They showed pictures of her.
that was
being
for
in
like the
different-
espionage stuff.
Yeah, being in the espionage. I don't think they designed her as I guess what I remember was that they didn't design her specifically, but it is still kind of fucked up. That
I'm
she
gonna
is
say I
purposely
wouldn't put it past the creator.
this type of show. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then at the end, she's like, "Well, I'm a love bot, so I guess you can fuck me."
Well, yeah, but then then the thing is, she's like, I told you, if you helped me, I would owe you, and now I'm gonna repay you.
But I kind of like. I do think I kind of like the element. There would probably be an awkwardness to the fact that he's like, I don't want to have sex
Yeah.
with you. Like, I
Yeah.
want-
Well, but then the thing
like,
is, he
then
does
she's like,
though.
Wait, well, does he?
He has a crush on her.
Well, probably eventually he would, but like I don't think they would. The vibe I'm getting is that he wouldn't just be like, "All right."
Oh,
like,
well, yeah, not
he wouldn't just
now,
immediately
not
go-
now, obviously.
I feel like the way the show at least set up their relationship, there is a potential that it's like actually a romance. I guess. I don't think it's gonna be
Like
very
a rom-com.
intriguing. Yeah, like a rom com. I mean, that's what this is. It's like it's softcore porn, but it's not like actually porn. I guess I don't know. So okay. So yeah. I mean, I think we kind of finish this out too. Oh, I do want to say, immediately reminded me of Chobits.
Oh.
Does anyone know of that show?
I do. I never watched
It's a
it.
weird show, is all I'll say.
They are
I saw
robots.
like 3 episodes of that show. It immediately made me think of, okay, yeah, this is Chobits, like some robot lady. Which in that show, she has a power button on her. You know what?
Why?
I don't want to know, and it was really at that point I was like, and it was so weird because this is getting off topic, so I'm gonna reel it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just.
Chobits is a strange show. A lot of love out there for Chobits though, so I don't want to inflame people. If it's your thing, go ahead, whatever.
Look, from what I've heard of you two, it sounds like it's kind of more interesting than what the plot kind of looks like.
It was like weirdly cute.
Yeah, it was just silly.
I mean, rating out of 10. I just said porn out of 10.
4 out of 10.
It's porn. I mean, it's not something I guess you'd rate. I don't even know.
I mean, I gave it a 2. Which
Was it poorly animated even?
the art was really cute, actually. And the colors were very satisfying, I'll be honest. But the animation wasn't great, but like that, I expect that from an ecchi anime.
I definitely also like this better than the other R18
Yes.
show we had.
That's
like,
what I was gonna say
infinitely
at the
more.
beginning.
I see. Which we'll be getting to that one.
That one
Stay
I also
tuned.
didn't watch.
But the music also kind of annoyed me, so that like
This
lowered
felt
it
very
in
forgettable
my.
for me.
You'd
recommend this for people who
but-
like titties. If
no,
you like
exactly.
titties, then this is probably a great show for you.
Exactly. There's an audience for this.
Yeah.
And if I knew some, like, I have friends. I have friends. Yeah, one-handed.
Part of me though always kind of is baffled though by the concept of like these ecchi shows, just for the fact that like typically, well, I guess that's the funny thing is typically they're like they probably be trash, like they'd suck.
Yeah.
But like, I guess this one is like cute enough that
It
I
is.
guess someone being like, okay, this is like kind of
Yeah,
fun,
entertaining.
It's entertaining in multiple ways,
Yeah.
you could say. I guess it's fine. You won't probably find it offensive unless you think like the human body is disgusing.
Well, and that they're high school.
Or oh shit, yeah, in the high school shit. Never mind.
In the high
Then
schoolers, yeah.
distance me as much as I can from this. So I'm going to end it there. So anyway, yeah. So there it is.
Yeah.
That's it. Alrighty, let's see what other horrors this wheel has in store for us.
It's gonna be the.
It's gonna be the other one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No, okay, equally cursed in men. Actually, probably more cursed.
It's worse.
It's
way worse.
No, it is way worse.
It's way worse.
It is way worse. Shiunji, I've never heard that
okay.
word.
The Shiunji family.
Shiunji
children.
family children. So the studio is Doga Kobo. So they do a ton of cute stuff. They did Oshinoko. They did Nozaki-kun. They did New Game, and they did Yuru Yuri.
What?
They did a lot. Like Doga Kobo usually does everything cute and fun. I love New Game, and I love Oshinoko Nozaki-kun. I love those two. The director is Kamitsubo Yoki, who I wasn't able to find a lot of other roles for. I feel like I'm missing something, because this does, at least on a production level, feel pretty like legit. I mean, again, studio Doga Kobo, they're well known for doing that stuff, but the directing was fine. Anyway, the writer is Miyajima Reiji, or infamously known as the author for Rent a Girlfriend.
Ah.
When I
Oh
saw
my
that,
God.
it all locked into place. So, if someone could read the description.
Yes, I believe it is your turn.
Oh, this is my
Crispy.
turn. I don't even want to read this.
I'll read it.
No. The love between brother and sister.
No, read it, Nora.
Read it.
Read it, Nora. Come on.
The love
No, okay, wait, no, that's worse. That's worse. No, go back.
Not that way, not that
Go
way.
back to what you had before. Go back. Too far.
the love between brother and sister. The love between man and woman. That which is most forbidden is most unyielding. The 2 sons and 5 daughters of the Shiunji family shine like brilliant gems, each with intelligence and beauty in equal measure. And with the pedigree of their wealthy father behind them, how could they not be the talk of the town? Eldest son Arata has spent his life being tossed around by the whims of his colorful sisters, yet a little teasing won't stop him from valuing his family over anything and anyone else. But when his youngest sister turns 15, their father reveals a long-hidden secret of the Shiunji quote-unquote siblings, and knocks Arata's world off its axis.
I have to say this like description is not very enlightening.
It actually, I think, more clearly represents how fucked this show
Yeah,
is.
I was just like when I read Long Hidden Secret, I was just like, incest.
Oh God.
Like that's what
Already.
that's what my mind jumped to.
Immediately. Well, you were right.
So, okay. Yeah, God, where do we even begin?
So, okay, we should start by saying the long hidden secret.
Okay, so I think let's wind up a little bit.
Okay.
Immediately, I instantly got the Life of the Kardashians vibe.
Oh, because they're rich?
Because they're rich, but also the fact that they're like these famous people, and it's sort of like in a house set up as like these. It's going to be this drama-filled nightmare.
Yeah.
Of like these large in life personalities, and like I guess they're known on a public level. So that kind of I guess was like immediately interesting in that sense. Obviously, there's God, these people do not talk like siblings. These people do not talk
not
to each
at
other
all.
like siblings.
No,
they
they
talk to
don't.
each other like high school like students,
Yes.
all flirting with each other constantly, which is already very weird and
Yeah,
unsettling.
it's like if you were raised as siblings from birth, then you should be talking to
Like
each
you
other
would not be
siblings.
I would not be like, my brother looks hot, but he's full of shit. It's like, what the fuck? You would not
Yeah,
say. You wouldn't
no.
be like,
You
you,
would
would
say-
ever.
you-
You would never have that thought in your
No.
head of my brother's hot. Like that's
You
just
would
not
say
a casual
no, my
thing
brother's a
you'd say.
dickhead and I hate him. Is
Yeah, so it's like it's just already really strange.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have, I say, oh God, is this going to be an incest show? I did not read the what's it called?
I didn't either, but from the start, I was like,
Well, but they're, immediately as they start
I was
talking,
like, they are the love interests.
I was like, even as I started, I was just like, oh my god, I'm just so sus of this show.
So we're already going in like the deep end. I'm like, what? Why is everything they're talking about very sexualized?
I know.
So it's already really strange. And then, of course, oh wait, I liked it that Oka is voiced by Takahashi Rie, who is Megumi. And does a bunch
They
of
have
other
a lot
stuff.
of good voice
They have a lot of good
actors.
voice
Yeah.
actors, so I have to at least give credit to some of that. But God, this is rough. And like, there's moments where this is them knowing, spoiler alert, when they know they're at birth, they're when they think
Yeah.
that they're related by
Yeah.
blood, that he is peeking at his sister and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? And he's like, what are you doing? Wearing like some like nothing
Loose
in the
shirt.
house,
Oh
loose
my
shirt. And she's
God,
like,
yeah.
I'm in my fucking house.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Can I not get like perved at by my brother?
I'm just
Yeah.
like, that
Like,
is awful. That is just so unreal. I'm just like this. It's so I feel like it's extremely unrealistic. Like,
Oh, yeah.
what brother would look at his sister that way? You just hate each other, or you like each other, but you don't like you like each other as brother and sister, and just don't give a shit.
It's like always so obvious to me that the people who write these shows, like, they're
They don't have siblings.
yeah, single children.
Yes, it's already weird. It's already weird how he's like viewing his sisters and all that stuff. And it's funny how they're calling him out for being a perv, and I'm like, they're not unjustified. Like they make it like they like I feel like the show is trying to get you to like be like, oh yeah, we feel bad that he's always getting beat up. It's like, no, he's a
No.
weirdo.
Yeah.
He's a fucking weirdo. It's like, what the fuck? So, and then I literally jaw to the floor, of course, when the family secret, which honestly should not have been a surprise,
No, it was not a surprise.
is that they are not related.
They're all adopted. Well,
Oh,
no,
except,
two of them are related.
Two of them are related.
There are a pair of twins. Yeah.
Yes, there's a pair of twins. They're both 16-year-olds.
Minami and Shion.
Minami and Shion are twins, but the rest are not related to each other.
But I was laughing so much because it was like, I'm like, why the fuck? Like, the vibe shift of like, oh, we're not blood siblings. Oh my god, that means we can all like,
Literally.
Oh my god.
Literally.
vibe shift. It wasn't this vibe shift of, and like one of the sisters is like, oh, I feel so betrayed or something like that. I'm like, okay, that would be like a normal reaction. But why is the vibe shift everyone going like, gulp? Like,
Yeah.
gulp?
It's just so ridiculous. Like, because if you had been raised with these people from birth, believing that they're your blood siblings,
That
there
would
is
not
n-
change.
It wouldn't change
No.
anything.
It wouldn't change shit.
And they even say that,
Yeah.
but then
And then it's like no, but we all know what they're. It's like, oh my god, and now it's like, oh, but it's awkward now.
yeah. So
Yeah. Sorry.
I had a huge qualm with it, aside from the incest, is the fact that they're obviously devaluing the fact that they are siblings by saying they're adopted.
Yeah.
And that, oh, they're not real siblings.
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
like,
Well, yeah, I
Very
mean that's
true.
true. That's true.
but that's a huge thing in Japan of like not seeing adopted children or siblings as real family because of the
Yeah.
Confucius values of like blood ties. you have to have that blood relation. And a lot of times when, I mean, I read a lot about this after this freaking show because I knew I'd have to talk about it. A lot of times when families would adopt, it would only be like their brother's child or their sister's child or
someone's
something.
still blood related.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then you would have families who would adopt someone outside of their family. And actually, it was only until the 80s that they could do that and actually put the children on their family registry. Families would adopt a child outside of their family. They would move out of their city because they didn't want their neighbors to know that their child was adopted.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dear God.
There's a lot of stigma against
Interesting.
adoption.
I did not actually know that.
Neither.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess in a way it's sort of undercutting, like there's an undercurrent of like I guess, yeah, they're not real siblings. So it's
Right.
like, which, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess to us, we're thinking like, okay, yeah, you're not blood related. You still grew up together
Yeah.
as siblings. Like that would still not really change anything. So the betrayal of trust would be the biggest.
The betrayal of trust would be a very massive thing, and I sympathize with the fact that a couple of them are just like, especially Kotono as well. They're all just like, why would you choose to say this on her birthday?
I know.
Yeah, that was so
That's
fucked
so
up.
that's so
right?
dickish.
That was so fucked up. If only the show stopped there and made it just an awkward comedy about no one actually being in love with each other,
Like
but
the
they're being
last
weird.
line.
But Jesus, fuck, the last bit sent me for a fucking loop. I don't really have words.
The possibility
The
of
possibility
sibling marriage.
sibling
Oh my
marriage,
god.
and the fact that Kotone is like very young.
Kotono.
Kotono.
I don't know why I say Kotone. Kotono is very young. It's all really weird. and
Yeah.
really
It's
creepy.
so bad.
It's an incest show. What do you
What do you
want?
expect?
Yep.
There is this element where I feel like it would be. There is incredible potential for true trash.
Oh, yeah.
True trash, Kardashian level,
Oh,
like drama in
Oh,
the
yeah.
stupidest way. Because from what I've heard, I feel like with Rent a Girlfriend, I've heard the whole ass plot from people who talking about it, and that show is like freaking crazy. That show is like freaking wild. The shit that happens is so stupid and dumb and petty and fucked up
yeah.
that it's like a roller coaster. So there's a part of me where I could see potential entertainment value in that.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the general like just kind of weird grossness of it, like it's too fucked in
Yeah.
a way.
It is so.
There would need to be a lot of levels of like things removed for me to be like, this is even entertaining.
It's icky.
It is icky.
It is.
That
It is very.
From a production level,
That's
it's fine.
really-
like it's pretty good.
Production level
Don
is
Kobo
pretty good.
knocks it out of the park again. I'd say.
The
People-
character
characters look good.
designs are, yeah, they're all very satisfying.
Designs are really good.
Yeah.
They're really good. There was the ending where I also my jaw dropped the floor again because the boob jiggle they gave on the older girl, I was like, what the frick was that? I was like,
That was the boob jiggle.
like freaking stupid. Oh my god! But it's just really silly. And
The only observation I have about the ending sequence is I was just like, the ending started, like the song started playing, and I was just like, what the fuck's up with all these lemons?
Yeah, that was weird.
And I found
There were a lot of-
I found out
Oh.
it's actually because the song's called Honey Lemon.
Oh.
That's it.
but there's nothing else.
No.
Does that have to do something with like incest?
I don't think so. I don't know, but either
It
way,
was a pretty catchy song, though.
it was a pretty catchy song. Yeah, but like I was just like, it started and it's just suddenly lemons, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, that was really
Just very
weird.
confusing.
I was like, is this like a euphemism for something? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's some Japanese reference
I don't
or
know.
something. Maybe lemons mean
Incest.
incest. So yeah, I don't know. Scores wise, I will admit, it was fun to watch how bad it was. There was this element where I was like, what the fuck? It's freaking stupid. I was like, what? I can't deny I had fun watching this show of how stupid it was. I do feel like though, it was so bad. I was like, I could not believe it. So I actually gave it a 6. And I don't feel good about that. But I will give it.
Would you change it?
As a moral show, as a moral judgment, yeah, it's a 0 out of 10. And it's like, this is fucked
Okay,
up.
yeah.
Say entertainment value, I still think it's a 6 out of 10. That's all I'm
Look,
saying.
I
I
would-
think entertainment wise,
I
it's a
would,
6 out of 10.
I would have to give it a similar rating because the way it's animated, the way the show flows, the plot flows, and everything else, it's not bad.
It's not terrible in the sense of like, I guess from a production standpoint.
From a production
it's not bad.
standpoint, it isn't terrible. The morality aside is not terrible.
I haven't been rating these shows like taking the moralness aside from the entertainment. Like, it's together for me. I'm
Yeah.
evaluating
If
it from
I
both standards.
evaluate it together, it's probably like a 3 or a 4.
Well, I guess it's like I watch things like if I watch Big Brother, that show is awful. That is like a bad show. But like the appeal of sometimes reality TV can be like
The fact that it's
interesting.
bad.
It's so bad. I don't know. I guess that would then go with my recommendation. If
But
you
it's
want
not-
trash entertainment,
It's not even like they're not. None of them are realistic in any way.
It isn't.
It's not reality.
It isn't.
TV. It's
Well, no, it isn't.
unreality TV.
Well, it's reality. Well, no. It covers reality TV in the sense that like they're just these larger than life. It's this larger than life scenario that's stupid and brought up to a ridiculous degree.
I guess.
I feel like I should probably give it like more closer to a 5, but I'm not gonna let you change my score.
I always evaluate my evaluations. I have to split them up, and then I can do an overall evaluation. I always do story, art, music, personal vibes, and morals, themes.
I think like there's the moral of the show, which I will then say to people that like this is wrong. But like it can still be like a piece of media that someone can still like watch. Like I don't endorse what's happening here, but it still would be this like crazy show.
Yeah, I think that's why it's possibly like a little higher, because it's like it's not a burning trash heap of a show.
Well,
Morally,
but it's so it's like
is.
there is
Well,
really
just
the
the
truly
story
watching,
itself,
There is
like-
truly the watching the fire burn on this
Yeah.
shit.
But like it's not like you're watching it going, oh my god, the animation's so choppy and bloody da da kind of thing.
I see what you mean.
It's not like
Yeah.
a burning trash heap. That
Yeah, the animation is nice. That's why I gave it a 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
so a 6, a 3, and a 1.
I think I was just
Look, it
I think there's a part of me where I watched through a ton of really awful shows that were so boring, and then that was like the only show
was
filled
more
with life that I was
entertaining,
like, what is happening? This is so dumb. Anyway,
This was in the midst of I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. This was the same area.
Really?
I was already pissed off.
all right, okay, all right.
okay. And would we recommend it?
If you're into really trash shows,
Absolutely not. I don't want my name associated.
I probably wouldn't. I would.
associated with this.
Crispy's name.
Crispy, you can put me down for recommended. No, I did not recommend it. Generally,
I would.
to people.
It would be a talking point, but I wouldn't recommend it.
yeah.
Kind of thing. It'd be
Yeah,
like
that's
like
fair,
saying
that's fair.
like
Let's watch this horrible thing
Yeah.
and
laugh
talk
at
about
it.
it.
Laugh
Yeah.
at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend it. No.
Who is this for?
Yeah.
Like anyone? Is there anyone
People
out
without
there?
siblings.
Yeah, I guess
People
I don't have
without siblings.
Yeah.
Or people who like that sort of thing.
All right. Well, next, let's go.
Yeah,
so let's
next.
see.
What misfortune will the wheel bring us this time?
Yes, true. We've had some spicy ones recently. Let's see. The wheel. Go, 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 go. Please, something not awful.
What's this? Oh, okay. This one. Yep, it's number 36, the one after She and Your Family Children. This one is called The Too Perfect Saint, tossed aside by my fiance and sold to another kingdom.
The Too Perfect Saint, tossed aside by my fiance and sold to another kingdom. Studio is Troika. They did Bloom Into You, Ray
Ooh.
Creators, All Know Zero, and Lord L. frickin' Melloy.
What?
Case Files.
What?
It's like the guy from Fate. Zero.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I think I showed like a couple episodes. I think you watched a couple episodes.
I remember you guys watching that. I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just like
don't-
that show. I just
assumed that I've watched it
I
because
like
I don't
Waver.
remember.
Yeah. Anyway, so director is Watanabe Shu. Lots of stuff, including like episode directing for a lot of shows. Kind of just very random one-off episodes of stuff.
Yep.
The writer is Masami, goes by Masami, and this was their only work listed.
Okay.
So yeah. So I guess for description, what do we got?
Philia hails from a family renowned for producing generations of saints, and she is no exception. In fact, she is known as the most powerful saint of all time, so extraordinarily gifted that many people find her insufferable. When even her fiancé decides he can't stand her, he suddenly calls off their engagement. He's so eager to never see her again that he sells her off to a neighboring country in dire need of a saint of their own. Now, Philia readies herself to face the unknown, fully expecting more miserable treatment. After all, she'd be a fool to expect anyone to welcome her with open arms, right?
All right. So, what do you guys think of this one?
I really liked it.
I liked
honestly.
it. I really liked it.
Okay.
It does have the same kind of not exactly revenge plot, but like a
Yeah, I was kind of gonna say.
it's
yeah.
like the divorced empress goes to another country revenge plot kind of thing.
It's like the girls' version of the revenge plot.
But I
mean,
think it's
not
it's-
nearly as bad.
it's known- it's
Let me
nowhere
preface
near
that.
as
Not
bad.
nearly as bad. This is very
I will-
innocent by
but,
comparison.
I really like.
I mean, I'll get into this later because I want to wait till we talk about it more. But
Okay.
I watched this very soon after I watched I'm the Intergalactic Evil Lord
Will do,
Intergalactic
yeah.
Empire one. And that was kind of my analysis, is that there's definitely still a persecution complex going on
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
100%.
Done a lot better.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I mean, I
is.
think we all can agree that it's not nearly the same, nor is like angry of a show.
Exactly.
No,
Kind of getting into it is we're in a fantasy world, not isekai.
not an
Not
isekai.
isekai.
As far as we know.
It's not isekai.
But so essentially, it's a world where there's these saints that essentially they're always women, I believe.
They're always women.
Yeah.
I believe,
They're
yes.
always women, and they have divine powers that allow them to do like super powerful stuff by protecting the kingdom from monsters.
So they're physically and magically powerful.
Yes, so they can do a lot of stuff. And kind of the main idea is that our protagonist, she is practically the most OP one. She does a lot more stuff than just protect. She's like literally reviving the country that she's from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
From being
Yeah.
like a desert wasteland to like a super booming capital of commerce
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So she already is like supposed to be like crazy.
Mm.
They are hinted at in the show that the path of becoming a saint isn't exactly determined by birth or anything. It's more like you have to go through trials,
I think
which don't
it's,
seem to be their choice.
Okay,
They're just
well,
kind of
yeah.
thrown into
no,
it.
I think with this, it doesn't like tell you a lot about how they become saints, but I think it's basically a birth thing. Like you are born with the potential to become a saint, and then you
I
can
see.
train.
And then
the
you have to be
potential.
put through the trials.
Yeah.
I think it's like like the theory of you are born either with magic or without magic, kind of thing.
I don't know that there were necessarily trials for saints. It was just
Her
there
tra-
were for her.
training.
Oh, for her? Well,
Because
no,
her
because
sister talked about doing training, but not like
Well,
what Philia had to go
well,
through.
they said Philia. They were like, oh, Philia, you took longer to go through it than your sister. So they did imply that at
That's
least her
true,
sister
yeah.
went through it. So maybe they made it worse for her.
Well, that is definitely the impression we get.
Yeah, so they probably made it a lot harder
Yeah.
for her to actually like succeed or something. Which like what
Yeah.
the fuck
Why?
is wrong with
What the
everyone?
fuck? Yeah.
What is wrong
Yeah.
with everyone? Everyone's like I guess the townsfolk do like her, but there's like everyone just
They're
treats her
scared
like
of her.
Yeah, they're scared
I
of.
guess they're scared of her. Everyone just treats her like shit.
Looking at that from a societal point of view, because like one of the things we haven't mentioned yet is that she is a saint who never smiles.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
never smiles, and she never shows anything more than like a very small amount of emotion. Which societal wise, if you look at this as the more like general view, women are supposed to smile and look pretty
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
And
else.
they're only valued by how charming and sweet
and
they
this
are.
this is a like 100% like a representation of that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because her sister, who's less powerful than she is absolutely adored and loved and everything else, but it's because she smiles.
Yeah, she smiles. She's
Whereas,
she has a cute, bubbly
So
personality.
if you think about it the opposite way, if our protagonist here was male, there would be no problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He
that's
would,
true.
he would
Exactly.
just he
yeah.
would just be like a brooding, cool, and composed.
Yeah. Oh, that
character
guy's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets everything done. That
compared
kind of stuff.
to like emotionless robot who just hates everything.
Yeah.
You
That
need
was
to
a,
look
that
pretty
was
and
like
serve us kind of thing.
exactly what I my thoughts on it too is that I really appreciated
fucked
that
up.
like they delved into the fact that only these women are the most powerful
Yeah.
people in like this continent, and their country literally relies on these women, and yet they're only valued by how nice of a smile they have. And then we find out later with the prince how submissive they are to orders and, you know, backing off, letting men take care of the hard labor, even though they can do it easier. Like,
Yeah.
better and more easy. Like,
Yeah.
And I find this kind of concept that, you know, the saint who never smiles or that sort of thing. I find that very refreshing, to be honest, because a lot of anime, like it's a certain amount of it is fan service, a certain amount of it is like societal expectations and what's normal kind of thing. But like I find like it's kind of like 2B in Nia. It's like she's very serious. She never smiles, and well, she sometimes smiles, but you know, like there's this. It's almost like you've just switched the gender with a male protagonist, and it's really nice to kind of make this more normal.
Yeah.
And like kind of trying to subvert the expectation that women have to be smiling or
Yeah.
that sort of thing, which is really nice.
Yeah, I think it has like a good message. I think in that. I think it is kind of like maybe in some ways on the nose
I mean, it
with
is
how
definitely-
intense
Yeah.
they go about writing the characters to create
is-
the
yeah.
most like ridiculous scenario. But I think it still proves like a good point. I think it still illustrates that effectively.
and the other thing about it is that it's taking place in a fantasy setting.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
all
Yeah.
of it's fantasy. None of it is meant to be perceived as like very literal. Whereas you have
yes.
the intergalactic
Oh my
evil
God.
lord.
Oh, yeah.
They
We
literally
need the isekai
they
bit to
literally
have it be literal.
Yeah, they literally take the fantasy part away to have these like stupid arguments about like how men have it so hard in
Yeah.
life. Whereas with this, they use fantasy to show analogously like what is happening
Yeah.
in society.
There's also like an element too where not just like her as a woman, but also is like it definitely seems to suggest to me that she is like a bit autistic.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
Because like it's not like her being like, which I kind of love about her character is that she isn't like resentful,
Right.
which like makes it sadder.
I
Yeah,
know.
it really does.
You should be pissed, girl. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
kill him.
You
Like,
you should be rightfully pissed about
yeah,
it.
you should be rightfully pissed, but like she doesn't seem to understand why. Like
Right.
what am I doing wrong? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going. Why do like I have to smile? Like I don't know how to smile.
Yeah,
or
and
like
I-
any of that.
and,
So like there
yeah,
is a
and
little bit of that
she doesn't-
representation too.
I think
like,
one of the things is she doesn't question why they're telling her to smile. She just doesn't understand.
she's generally trying, and it's like I hate that. It's like no, you're doing so much
It's like
already.
you're doing your best.
You're doing
sweetie.
so much. Just like you're good.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, she's going to another kingdom. Well, like of course. Oh man, yeah, they made me so mad with that scene where her mother and her dad are
I
just like,
know.
you're a piece of shit and all this
Yeah,
stuff. Like
that's-
I want to kill these people.
That's sort of. I just don't understand how like parental figures can be like that. It's just like
Well, and that's kind of when it comes down to being like, it is a extremely contrived.
oh,
Yes.
It
yeah.
is extremely
It
trying
is,
to
it is.
create the most like sob story revenge
Yeah,
plot
exactly.
to justify
But
the sort of.
I like the sub story revenge plot.
I mean,
like
okay,
this
yeah,
compared
and
to
that's
the other
fine.
one.
I mean,
Well,
it's
I wouldn't say there's any revenge plot really, like necessarily from episode 1.
It's not revenge. It's more like leave in the process of leaving.
Success is the
Success is the
it's
revenge.
that's
yeah.
actually more of a healing story.
Yeah.
Yes,
Healing story.
yes,
That's what
I
I mean.
agree.
So when we say revenge plot, yeah, we should be very clear. Yeah, it's not about getting revenge. It's
Right.
about distancing yourself from toxic people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and realizing that you're worth more than what these other people are going to judge you as. So
That was so. To elaborate, I guess after Philia is told by the prince who she was engaged to and her parents that she's been sold to another king or another country and that he's going to marry her sister instead, she's like immediately kicked out of the house and
yeah.
is going in a carriage to this new country. And she's thinking to herself, she's like, this is going to be the last moment I can sit down because they're going to work me
Aw.
like
To the bone, yeah.
like a slave in this new country. And she's like, why have I even been working so hard all this time?
No, I love
And
I
then-
loved that self-realization.
And then she says, basically, like, I don't think she really said it, it's more implied, but she's like, I should just give up. Like, I should just stop.
yeah,
And it's like such a better, like,
it's like the complete
I
opposite.
know,
The
instead of I'm just gonna
complete
kill
opposite.
everyone.
I'm gonna do what I want. Like
It's
Oh
it's
my God,
literally
yeah.
like I'm
As
just
opposed to the
gonna
other
fuck
show,
off and
yeah.
do my own thing.
Exactly. Yeah, but then it ends with her being welcomed very graciously
grandly,
into
yeah.
the new kingdom.
the direction certainly is going to go in. Everything's going to be kind of nice. She's gonna realize, I guess, what the value she has, what she contributes,
Right.
and like that she doesn't have to be whatever. But there was a part of me where I'm like, up until they're getting kicked out, I'm like, this is She should get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
These guys are helping her by getting her
Right?
the fuck out of this country. This place sucks.
One of the things I actually was kind of like, just a little off topic here. One of the things I really liked actually was that her sister doesn't hate her.
I was about to say.
That was so sweet.
That was
Yeah.
very sweet, and the fact that her sister even like she got like a little gift for her. She's like,
and she was like wearing it around everywhere.
and they didn't reveal in the first episode, but her sister walks into the room and she's not there, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't get her reaction in that first episode, but you're like, no, that sucks.
And I think also it depicts a little bit more of the relationship between Mia and Philia, so the two sisters. That when the prince says, I'm like not divorcing you, but I'm dissolving our engagement, and I'm gonna marry your sister. Is that one of her first thoughts? Isn't for herself; it's for
Yeah,
her
it's
sister.
for her
like, this is
sister.
better for Mia.
She didn't care. She was like, oh, this is-
there's I think I actually I didn't pick up the it was better vibes. I actually picked up concern.
Oh, if she
For her
doesn't
sister.
accept.
No, it was actually more concern if she does accept. I was picking up concern.
I got the opposite.
Ooh, I
honestly.
didn't get that. I think she was genuinely.
Yeah.
She seemed genuinely like this will be better for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Despite
like,
the
cautious-
reality.
But I think you're right, though, is that it's worse for me.
that prince is such a dickhead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which I guess hopefully she would.
Realize maybe it
I mean,
it depends.
she's
the
too-
prince could be a dickhead only
Well-
to people he doesn't like.
Well, he mentioned that
Oh,
like she
yeah.
liked him, or that maybe he
It
got
was
feelings,
very
which is really funny.
condescending.
It was actually kind of silly because he was like, "Oh, she like bowed at me or something,"
Oh,
and like
it
so
was-
that means she probably loves me. So I'm immediately jumping into making this the decision
Yeah.
to go after Mia. So it was
It's so
it was
stupid.
so dumb. But like, so I don't know. Maybe he's like a suave piece of shit.
He does seem like a piece of shit.
So like maybe she'll get sucked into that. I don't know. It was very contrived. Very contrived.
Yeah, for sure.
The overall message though is infinitely more positive,
Very refreshing.
and refreshing than the freaking other show.
Also, I have to say the art was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It did, yeah.
It was
I
really
kind
pretty.
It was good.
I think there were parts where I didn't like the washed out look.
Oh, you didn't?
I was not
really
a fan of the
liked
washed
that.
out look.
I liked it.
If we go to enjoyment factor,
I see.
that starts to affect my
That-
score.
It added to the refreshing aspect of it
I
to
see.
me.
Okay.
Also, their character designs are really cute to me. Like the two
they're pretty
sisters.
good. I did like the character designs.
And
everyone
the
else
music.
though kind of looked meh.
Yeah, the mom. Well, the like unimportant characters were
unimportant.
ugly.
Well, yeah, everyone looked kind of ugly in that sense. I thought the town backgrounds looked kind of rough in some cases.
I think in some cases though, I think the thing is a lot with a lot of this stuff, we're not meant to be focusing on the town. We're meant to be focusing on the characters. And
Well, yeah, but as
The
a
setting
as a
does
work,
matter, though.
Yeah, as a work, I think also, if I'm being honest, like I just think for me it was a little boring. It was a little boring a show to watch through. It felt more like a slog to me to
I
get
see.
through. I don't know. I think the problem was that in terms of entertainment, I kind of like knew what the whole episode was going to be about the instant someone was like,
From the
I don't
title.
like, well, from the title.
Yeah.
The sister bit was refreshing. I
Yeah.
like that, and that's I think when it became more like emotional stake. But I don't know. It wasn't that fun, I guess, to watch. So what would you guys say?
I disagree.
I disagree.
I just really liked the main character. I like could have followed her around anywhere and been like, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just doing her daily life.
Yeah,
I
did
also
like her character. I did like
Also
her character.
something I really loved the music too. It was very healing.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot when she was traveling to the other country. I love that song. There
I
was, like,
know.
a track. There was a track that like when I was listening to it, she was going through. That song was so good, and the
Yeah.
and the backgrounds for that part were really good.
Oh.
Were really good. So like.
The travel scenes.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I think it was just all up until then. So maybe like I'd be more interested in like
Starting
the
her
second
new life.
episode. Maybe the first,
Maybe
the first
that's
show,
actually
the first
meant to
area.
be. Maybe
Maybe.
that's meant to be juxtaposed as we're seeing
Yeah.
these backgrounds through her eyes.
Yeah.
And then so
yeah.
once she sees new environments which
Maybe.
are more hopeful, then maybe they'd become brighter and more enjoyable.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
so I mean, yeah, I said beautiful stills. Love the track on the montage. Everything's gonna work out just okay.
Aw.
But yeah, so it's. I mean, it was cute. It was cute.
Yeah.
It's not as. I just think it's not a show that's for me as much because I think
Right.
the other question is like, what is the show gonna be?
Well, it's kind of obviously a romance.
it's kind of obvious.
Oh, duh, it's a romance. Yes, yeah.
It's
They have Prince Charming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think did they show the OP?
So you aren't the audience actually.
It
You are
isn't-
the
I'm not the
audience.
audience. I'm
Did
just
they
not
show
the
the
audience.
I think they might have shown like one shot.
Or maybe the ending.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yes. Only the ending. Oh, no, the opening was the ending. I see.
Yeah, as is typical with most.
Yeah,
the
first
episode ones.
episode. So scores. I gave it like a 6.5. I feel
Oh,
like.
okay.
Like I gave it like 6.5.
That's actually higher than I thought you would.
immediately judging me. Immediately. I'm like,
Hold
I
on,
didn't
no.
find it entertaining.
That's because I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
And
it's a
you were
6 out-
saying you didn't enjoy it as much.
Well, yeah.
so-
I mean, it's not an 8 or a 9. I'm just
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
I am also
I can
just
see it
like
being a 7.
I'm like solid 7.
Yeah. I could see it being a 7. Like if I watched more of it being a 7. I don't know if I'd continue it. Pretty sure I won't.
I will.
I
Okay.
was probably going to continue.
All right. Well, let me know.
I love these kinds of stories.
Yeah.
This is like one of my favorite genres. Is like the revenge where the main character becomes happy and it's not actually revenge.
Yeah.
I love those types of stories. And look, a little bit of revenge is still nice.
That can still be nice.
Especially
you know
if
that dude's gonna have everything come back in his fucking face.
Yeah.
He's like managing
true.
the kingdom horribly. He's like, I just want a gold statue.
And he just got rid of like the most powerful person in the country.
you are going to send your country's economy into nosedive.
Which I would be much more interested if it becomes the question of, well, wait a second, do they love me or do they just value me as a tool?
Oh shit.
That could be interesting. Hopefully it goes in the right direction. All right, but I don't believe I feel like I'd have trusted
Oh,
the show.
would
not
we
to that.
recommend this
Yes,
to people?
100%.
Yeah, I'd recommend this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would.
it's probably gonna be a fun little slice of life. I think if you relate to this character,
Yeah.
or like you feel like,
or you just like this genre.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you like this genre,
Romance, fantasy.
I think it could be fun. I think it could be good for you. So next,
Yeah, next.
let's just go right to the next one.
What's next on our list?
Let's see.
What's this?
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
Zatsutabi.
Zatsutabi. This one, okay. I really
That's
like.
Journey.
All right, so Zatsutabi, that's Journey. Studio is Makaria. There were literally like no other
I'm not
works
surprised.
I saw from this. Director Watanabe Masaharu. They did Ray Zero and lots of other key animation stuff. The writer is Ishizaka Kenta, who I did not see any other notable work. I think this is his only work that's listed. There's some interesting stuff about that we'll get to.
I have theories.
Theories, okay. All right, interesting. So that's a good bit. Let's see. So who is?
It's my turn.
Okay.
Crispy.
So, description. Chika Suzugamori, an 18-year-old newcomer
Cucumber.
manga artist, has just had 3 of her drafts rejected in a single day. Her editor suggests incorporating her interests into her work, but Chika is an indoor person who only thinks about manga day and night. At a loss, she feels a sudden desire to get away from everything and go on a journey somewhere. Due to the results of an online poll that she posted on a whim, Chika hops on a train and heads north from Tokyo to an impromptu solo trip. When she ends up at the top of Mount Haguro in Aizu Wakamatsu, she realizes she feels refreshed and more motivated than ever. Even if her project gets turned down again in the future, Chika plans to journey around Japan with friends old and new.
So, yeah, I guess where do we start with this? I mean, yeah, she gets her
I want to start with the name.
Zatsutabi.
I want to start with the name.
Very silly.
It is. I am confused why but the Japanese name is Zatsutabi. That's journey.
Yeah.
But the Zatsu is very clearly meant to be like miscellaneous journeys.
Yeah.
I guess they were just trying to be punny about it, but it doesn't really make sense.
I think they're trying to be punny. I guess on the localization side, they decided like that's Journey.
No, it wasn't a localization.
Oh, that's
the
right.
Japanese title.
Oh, they literally is Zatsutabi. That's Journey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they just wanted to be punny, I guess. They didn't
It
exactly know their grammar
So,
on it. But
I mean,
okay.
I guess for context, Zatsu in Japanese means miscellaneous. And she's taking a bunch of like random journeys around.
But Zatsu also sounds
Sounds.
like what sounds like when they use katakana to pronounce that.
That's.
That's.
And
Zatsu journeys.
then obviously Tabi is Journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, they so our protagonist is a manga creator at 18, right out of school, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
She's already getting.
She's making bank.
Well, she made bank once.
Okay,
which is
she
kind
made
of the
bank
whole
once.
thing. She made about $10,000,
Uh-huh.
$10,000 in like a newcomers competition for manga and whatnot. So that sort of started her like real career, I guess. And now she's going to an editor to constantly submit things, which are probably not very good because the editor keeps denying her every single freaking thing she
Yeah.
sends. So that prompts her to be like, I gotta try something out, some new perspective on things, and just spend money to go far places.
And
Yeah.
she does
There you go.
mention that she's kind of worried about it, like the money side
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah,
Which is
Drying
very
up.
I
realistic.
like that. I like that it was realistic. I like that there was a disclaimer that said prices will not represent real world scenario.
And she actually talks about like how much each thing was
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
her journey, which
Yeah.
was interesting.
Which
Adds to my theory.
so this show, I want to say first off, this show, the Twitter immediately when she pulled up her Twitter account, I looked it up.
Oh.
They do have an account.
Oh, that's cute.
And they did actually post back when the show was coming out, before the show was coming out, the poll, the exact same poll
Oh,
that
that's
happens, and it
cute.
actually has the same round of percentages.
So they
Wow.
So I
used
think
those.
so they might have used that as part of like the show.
Aw.
I don't know if the manga came for. This is where my
Is it
knowledge
a-
sort of starts to end.
Oh,
on
it is a
this.
manga.
I believe there's a manga or something, but the Twitter account is like there's a lot of stuff in there of travel places and destinations and photos of things.
I wonder if it's
So
like
it's cool.
foreshadowing about what's going to happen in the episodes.
There was definitely a part of me where I'm like, I feel like this is probably like for as the episodes go by, like the like posting on the account is going to like change or update. So that's kind of a cool gimmick or like
yeah.
thing to have.
My theory's been destroyed.
Oh, what was your theory? Okay,
My
I think we should have
theory
that.
was that this was a promotional anime by JR or
Ah,
another
yeah,
travel
right.
company.
It probably still is like it like so.
Well, but it is a manga and it's written just by a dude. Like,
Okay, so
but he might be receiving money.
he's probably gonna get some extra money, more moolah for that, because he does reference like specific places and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
and like tells how much the cost is.
Mhm.
There's also
And-
lots of shots of inside gift shops.
And the very realistic shots of inside the Shinkansen,
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was immediately like, JR paid for this.
Oh no, dude, yeah. When she was like, oh my god, there's a charger or there's an outlet.
Yeah, exactly,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
It's so convenient. Like, oh my god, this is great.
Yeah.
Actually, disclaimer: not all Shinkansens have outlets for every seat.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I do think it's kind of funny that like they're sort of already trying to preface it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be kind of
Yeah.
mid, but like they don't want to oversell it because there's a part of me where I'm like, that looks cool, but like that also does not look that fun of a trip. The onsen was cool.
Yeah, that one's
I would
nice.
do that. I guess I don't know what my thoughts are with this show. It's like
I was kind of bored.
I was pretty
just in
bored
general.
too.
I think it's slightly boring, but it's
kind
kind
of
of,
an ad.
it's just like I don't know, like a nice slice of life kind
Yeah,
of thing.
it's slow paced.
An interesting
nice slice of
look at
life.
say like a mangaka's like
Well, no, actually, that was a complaint I had. That was the complaint I had, is that I expected her to go on these journeys and it being
Yeah.
about her creating on those
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no,
journeys.
that's
Yes.
Or getting
yeah.
inspired by them. But
Yeah,
it
true.
wasn't about that at all.
Yeah, true. I mean, she could have talked about, I guess, some cool places, but like, yeah, I think I definitely was expecting there to be that tie-in because her editor's like, hey, you have a lot of money,
Yeah.
like go get into a hobby or
Right?
something that'll
Yeah.
like maybe inspire you. And it's like she just she literally went to the journey, came back, wrote 3 more drafts that all got rejected again. It's like, are you not
You
taking
learn
any
nothing.
lessons? Or you're not
Yeah.
you're not learning anything. So it's just about this being a hobby now. I
Yeah.
guess that just has no
Which
influence
there
on
is
your
to
positive
say,
life.
I
which-
mean, there is to say something about separating work life from your hobbies.
that is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I mean, as an artist though, like you're inspired by everything in your life.
Yeah.
That's going to affect your creative process.
I mean, seriously, like for me, like going to places like that, like
Yeah.
as a DM, like I'm thinking of like writing
Right.
stuff and doing things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, fun fact, Kringle is our DM for our D&D campaign.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, we're not posting it. That's us.
Secret.
So maybe we edit that out. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. It's something where it's like it felt like there was a message, and I don't really know what that is.
I don't-
Honestly,
but I feel like
please
there
spend
wasn't.
more money on tourism in
Yeah.
Japan.
Well, that
Please
and that's
spend more money.
But that's another thing to consider is that after the first, like the original lockdown during COVID, they had a travel campaign that they pushed.
Hmm.
I can't remember what it was called. It was like "Let's Go" or something. It's some English, 2-word English
okay.
catchphrase, trying to get people to travel because all these tourism industries were dying.
Yes.
And they stopped using that logo or whatever. But especially since the Olympics were like such a flop
Oh,
here, they've really been pushing tourism in
Yes.
Japan.
the type of tourism they want, and I put in this. The Tokyo periphery wants that tourism dough. The problem is that Japan. It's not a matter of tourism in general for Japan. It's tourism in the right places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Kyoto,
They
Tokyo,
don't want
and
you there.
Osaka
They don't want to.
have loads of tourism. They don't want any more tourism. They're done. They're like, please
In
leave.
fact, they're trying to lock you out.
Like,
Yeah.
for God's sakes, go somewhere else. And it's like, and of course, these areas that are outside in the periphery of the cities are mired in lots of debt. They like want that tourism to come back to
Right.
them. So they want that to trickle down. And I think that makes sense. So they'd want that.
Yeah.
It's just doing it through travel anime propaganda is just one part of that.
Yeah, I guess. And as people who have visited less populated areas, I can say that it's like a good choice to go do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to avoid the crowds or have like a true, I mean, for people that are trying to travel to Japan and they want like a real quiet moment,
Right.
I think Zatsutabi is a great guide in a way for
Yeah,
trying that.
yeah.
It's just that like I guess there is a part of me though where this is very specifically for a Japanese audience.
Oh, it really
Exactly.
is,
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the only issue in terms of like what it would try to be doing. It's trying to encourage their domestic residents to like go out and travel because like the price and the amount of time it would take for most like foreign travelers definitely would make these not really feasible as options.
Especially considering that we're talking about she's going from Tokyo to all these places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not all of us live in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is it like? 50% of Japan lives in Tokyo.
Oh,
It's,
yeah, I
it's a
guess that's-
ridiculous percentage.
It is a
yeah.
crazy amount of people, but
I think that is a good
Yeah.
point, though, is that like this show seems like it'd be a lot more interesting for people who don't live in Japan.
yeah, no, because that was the thing. Because like, as someone who lives in Japan, it's a little boring.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
to me, I will admit,
It's like I've been there kind of thing.
and I think it's hard to kind of relate this. I feel like to many people outside of Japan, they would see this trip and go, "Wow, that's such a cool, unique place."
Right. It's not.
Let me be honest, and this is the great thing about Japan. Places like these are everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely everywhere.
They
The
are.
only thing that made that place distinct was the onsen, which is cool.
But you can go to an onsen.
You
Anywhere.
can go to an onsen
Anywhere.
anywhere. I mean, maybe the historic sites, if you're really into history, it'd be cool. Maybe if you know about that, that's always awesome. Japan is a beautiful country with
Yes.
lots of places to go to where you don't really have to go to that spot or pay that much money to drive that
Right.
or to take a train that
I
far.
have to admit
So-
the only caveat with that is that you have to speak at least a little bit.
That's true.
Well, yeah, her experience obviously is gonna be very different. I mean, even for me, I can't read like the stones with the crazy
True,
old
true.
things.
Yeah.
A lot of that is gonna be in over my head, or it's straight up in Chinese.
Old Japanese.
It's yeah,
Chinese,
it's just
well, like
all-
Chinese
all
just
kanji.
character,
All
just
kanjis,
all
yeah.
kanji Japanese. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of boring for someone who wants a slice of life of the not so often treaded parts of Japan. This is a cool
Yeah,
little
yeah.
show.
Yeah. Look, I think like positive points about the show. It's very picturesque.
It is picturesque. The
It is.
backgrounds are really
And
beautiful.
I
Yeah.
think while you could put it as a criticism that the characters look very juxtaposed against the beautiful backgrounds.
Yeah, compositing
But
was rough.
It,
yet
it
again.
it makes them seem
pretty
really it makes them seem really superimposed, but it's really cool that way, I think.
Hmm.
Like if you don't look at it as a bad thing and you think of it as they've almost taken photos of these places and then they're showing you how like our animated characters go there. It's
Hmm.
kind of interesting that way.
I did like too how they were like she gets to the top and like
There's no
actually
view.
okay, one, I love the fact that when she was getting up higher she was getting like exhausted goofy,
The-
which
the-
is like
yeah.
only
the
what
stages
happens.
of grief.
Yeah, which is funny because that like 1,000 steps is really not that much. It's like actually literally nothing. I mean, hey,
But I
some
mean,
people
she's
don't
like
realize
kind
that.
like a
They set that
semi
up.
shut in.
They
Yeah.
set that up. She's sort of a shut in a little bit. But I do love that when she gets to the top, she's like, "Wow, there's not even a view. This is
Yeah.
hilarious!"
I think that-
gotta love
that
that. That
was
was so
funny.
real.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
so
funny.
real. You're like, "I'm gonna get up top. This could be awesome." No,
I love
Just
it. No,
trees.
and I also love.
But that's the
fact-
journey. That's the
the
journey.
thing. The thing.
That's
The
Tabi.
thing with that is
Tabi.
was that we have this scene of her walking up these set of stairs, and then it cuts to this is the actual entrance. Flash, flash, flash of an arrow.
Yeah,
and
so
then
she
it
went
cuts
the
back to
wrong
her.
way.
So she actually goes the wrong way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think it kind of
Or the
show-
long way. Yeah.
or the long way or whatever. But I think it really shows that no matter where you go, there's probably something there which is interesting.
Yeah, and it's that's the journey,
journey.
as we title
That's
dropped
Tabi.
recently.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you just take the journey as it goes. This did bring up fond thoughts I have of like when I've solo travel and do this stuff, and the message is good. At least like other than just the please give the Japanese tourism industry like more money,
Yeah.
please. I think the idea in the beginning of being like sometimes you just need that like one little thing to be like, yep, I need to get out there and do that. I think that was a good message to
Yeah, I
have.
think it
like
was.
don't let it be a thing tomorrow to do. Just go do it.
Yeah.
I think that was really good.
Yeah.
I
He's
want to
up a lot
add.
of-
I want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
The opening, which was played as the ending, I didn't like it very. I mean, I didn't dislike it. I was very like neutral about it, but it's performed by a duet that was formed between two of the Revue Starlight actresses,
Ooh.
and their name is Harmoe because one of them is Haru and the other one is Moepi. Moika.
That's cute.
That is really cute.
Haru-chan Moika.
Review.
Review. What's our scores?
I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gave it. I feel like my scores don't average nearly that low usually. I think I usually give.
feel like that's
I feel
the
like I give
same.
most shows like 6 or around that. Like unless it's like offensive.
No, because like a 5 is still something I'd like enjoy watching.
But you
And
gave us a 3,
4.
a 4.
Yeah.
5 to me, I would never watch. I would never watch a 5 if I
Interesting.
knew it was a 5.
Interesting.
For me, I would only watch something if I know it's at least like a 7.
I have to have more variety of the shows I like. I have to have more
I
variety.
don't know. To
in
me,
how
like
I
a
score
5
it.
is like, why would I waste my time?
No.
Whereas, like, I feel like some of these, I'm like, I don't know if it'd be, I don't know, a complete waste of time. I don't know. I'd give it like a 6. I mean, it's not that far off.
I just was pretty bored.
It's
I'll
a
be
little
honest.
more than like extremely average. I think there's at least something there that could be entertaining to watch through.
Yeah.
Oh, and she looks like Cappy from. Mia. What is that? What is that called?
What is that game called?
Something. God damn it. What is it called?
What is that game called?
The one with that the
it's-
blue hair
it's-
girl,
the blue-haired girl.
with the pink dress who like
Yandere.
you're trapped in like a virtual or a virtual
Oh,
novel.
I know what
that
you're
one,
talking
that
about.
one.
Me something.
Me something or other. Me.
I don't know the game though. I just remember you guys talking about it.
Anyway, she looks like Cappy. It was like, and her hat even looks the same as Cappy. Anyway, that's all I want to say.
But I mean, I gave it a 4 out of 10.
4.
The art wasn't particularly good.
No,
the
it
music
wasn't.
wasn't particularly good. I was bored. There was no real message other than like you should go travel.
Let you go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
Don't let today stop you.
Me side.
No, I
Me
mean,
side.
Azumi.
Me
Me
side.
side. Yeah, Azumi.
Me
What
side.
did you think of
I'd give it a 5.
a 5?
A 4.5. It's not that bad, but I wouldn't normally watch it. But
Yeah.
like, the art's really nice. The backgrounds, at least, the art's really nice. But it's not really something I'd normally watch.
Yeah.
I would probably recommend it
Mm-hmm.
as to someone. Say if someone's really interested in like say people traveling around Japan or like that sort of travel animes, I'd recommend it to someone who likes that.
I'd recommend it with that caveat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as like this is really really entertaining.
Yeah. I think there's enough people that would enjoy this show.
Yeah.
That's kind of my recommendation, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'd recommend it.
So yeah. Okay.
Next.
Next.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what's this?
It's my
Princession.
Oh no! Wait, no, yeah, I see. Princess Session Orchestra. Studio is Silverlink. Tons of stuff. Mid-tier crap is what I said. Director is Onuma Shin. They did Bull Foodie and Kokoro Connect. They directed. Shield Girl.
Shield Girl. Okay.
And the creator is Kaneko Akifumi, or otherwise known as the creator of Symphogear.
Oh.
I can see that. I can see that.
All right, yeah, holy shit.
Alespia, a land of wonder that has existed somewhere in the world since ancient times, which we don't even get to know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Alespia.
yeah, wait, what?
Alespia, a land of wonder that has existed somewhere in the world since ancient times, was once home to loving inhabitants known as the Alespians. Their peaceful lives were disrupted when a mysterious monster, Jamahawk, began to appear, threatening the sparkling brilliance of their homeland. If nothing is done, Alespia will lose its radiance forever. This is the story of the princesses whose unwavering songs of courage and hope shine even in the darkest times. A pop song fantasia filled with energy and bravery. Princession Orchestra.
Okay.
My description of it is it's Symphogear for little girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Symphogear for little girls.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've never seen Symphogear, so
Symphogear is in some ways completely dope and also really bad at the same time. So yeah, like immediately it's very, very much a kids show.
Oh yeah. I mean, from the start, they give the "don't sit too close to the TV"
oh yeah, they
warning
Yeah,
that they
true.
give to kids.
Yeah,
shows.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a kids show. There's a magical wonderland, which I guess we did not hear that it's like some ancient
Yeah.
place.
yeah.
But it's a magical wonderland all that just girls can go to. No boys
No
allowed.
boys allowed.
No boys allowed. It's secret. So
it is
apparently the entire world can have girls go to the secret place, but it's secret.
And they're all keeping the secret.
And they're all keeping
They're
that
all
secret.
keeping the secret.
Tight lips.
Well, and the other
Oh,
thing is that
Locked.
adults can't get in either.
Wait, they
they
can't?
can't?
I thought
It
women
said
could.
none of the adults or boys know about it.
Oh.
Adults or boys. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought I saw women that were like
I think they're
definitely
probably
adults.
teenagers.
Oh, I see. Wait. Does that include the YouTuber girls?
Probably.
Yeah, teenagers.
I see. Okay. I see. It's just for girls. No adults or boys allowed.
Yep.
And it's this cool place where time does not go at the
Yeah.
same rate of like reality,
It does
and
go
that
a little
already
bit.
it goes a little bit. I
It
mean,
doesn't freeze
I even
time.
calculated it. It's 33% of real time.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
Which is super slow. Like
Yeah.
8 hours in that world is only 2.6 hours in real life, which would be crazy. You could like,
Have a whole
goddamn, I
day.
guess I got a bad rap being a dude. It's like I can't. I lost all this time I could have lived in my life.
Yeah.
Well, but that's
from the
another-
age of like
that's
whatever to
another
whatever.
question. If you spend too much time in LSP, will you die before all of your other?
Ooh.
Well, is that experience time? Is that true
Yeah.
experience?
I don't know.
Are you gonna
Well,
age?
but that
I
one
think-
girl
I
was
think the
like,
world-
will we become like developed women?
Oh,
sooner
yeah,
than
that's true.
everyone
She
Yeah,
else?
no,
mentioned
she
that.
did mention that.
Well, but I
yeah.
think they even said that was like, oh, that's just like stupid. That's not.
Oh,
gonna
okay.
happen.
I
Like
think- yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
It was
What are you
probably one of
talking
those like urban legends.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy already. But yeah, they there's like, what are the activities again you could do in this world?
Singing, dancing,
Singing, dancing, like
eating,
eating.
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 It's just like
Anything
it's like
you want?
Anything you want, basically. Like
Yeah.
cutesy,
anything girls want to do.
cutesy, like
Girl stuff.
Just hang
like
out, girl
typical
stuff. I guess I wouldn't know.
cutesy girly
Yeah, you
stuff.
wouldn't know.
I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
know
Kringle.
shit about that. So, in fact, I should not have watched this. This was actually
Yeah.
illegal.
It was
Yeah. Actually, why
seriously-
did
Why did
we're
you
gonna,
watch it?
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna call
Yikes,
Alice
I
Pia
just
police
realized-
on you.
Shit.
I actually,
All right,
I
well,
quite liked the animation style of this.
It was pretty
really
cute.
cutesy.
Yeah,
The way they did the eyes kind of annoyed me though. I didn't really like.
like
it.
cloudy
It was like, yeah, they just used the blur tool.
tool, blur tool with basic reflection.
To be honest, I have to admit, like because of the amount of pastel and colors and everything else, it reminded me a little bit of Infinity Nikki
Oh, cute.
because it's just
yeah.
so it's because it's
Very
so cutesy and
pretty,
pastel.
cutesy.
Pastel. Yeah, a world where anyone can be themselves and shine. It's like it really brings a lot of that peaceful world kind of vibes along with
Yes.
it, which is not bad.
I just wanted to mention that I just said in my notes, YouTube that scrambles all your atoms and puts you in a virtual world. Not a hellscape. Not a hellscape.
Yeah, not a hellscape.
I also put later on, "Dear God, run for your lives," because apparently it is not just a happy place.
No.
No.
It is filled with danger.
Jamal.
Sorry, is that the dude with the guitar?
I guess it says a mysterious monster.
Mysterious
He looked
monster, yeah.
sick.
He
I
looked
thought
sick,
I
yeah.
loved how over the top and ridiculous his design is.
Well,
and
I
then
mean
he
that's where you
murders
get
people.
Symphogear's influence.
Yeah, and of course the girls fight with the power of music.
Yeah.
I will say the
It was
one
pretty
thing
good music.
and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad. The transform track I said goes hard.
Oh.
The transformation track was
Oh.
actually kind of dope. But the thing that I do love about Symphogear that they do is that when they were singing and fighting, there's like an element of them going like, yeah, like they're like actually in a fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with their fists.
Like they're literally like some of the notes don't exactly hit, but that's because they're literally going, "Gah!" Like,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I see,
like
I
it's
see.
but it's cool, and some of them are also not like good singers,
Uh-huh.
like or they're kind of made to
right.
be not great singers, but they're still singing, so it's like the point.
It'll probably. I imagine it'd be pretty.
I
perfect
don't
in
know
this
with
show.
with the production though. I feel like there was definitely a cheapness. I felt right.
Well, I mean, it's a kids show.
Well, it's a kid show, but I meant like they're not gonna go to the length Symphogear does with some of their shit. Symphogear went crazy.
Well, yeah, it's a kids show.
You can't just say it's not going to because of that. We're writing it on the merits of being a show what's in front
what
of
do
our
you mean
face.
by the lengths? I'm thinking like the crazy shit that's Symphogear.
like the attack, the action.
Oh, I see. Like action scenes.
Yeah, like action
okay.
scenes. It was
I feel
pretty
like
meh.
this is a different show though, because if it
Oh,
was
100%.
if it-
I'm not gonna say this is
Yeah, see the
just
thing is,
rip,
if it was
of
exactly
course.
like Symphogear, you'd be just like, why wouldn't you watch Symphogear?
Because you're a child.
There's
yourself.
not too much. There's not more Symphogear.
Yeah, there's not more
There's just
Symphogear.
there's not more Symphogear.
Ignoring the fact it's Symphogear.
No, I just think that was a funny little bit.
I just was looking at the title card. I have to say I really love that the pink-haired girl, like her design is based off of like Spanish flamenco dancing.
Mm,
It's
Oh,
really
yeah,
cute.
yeah, that was cool.
It's, like, not something I see a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I thought
Spanish
the designs were
influence.
interesting.
Yeah.
How what they did with her character. Of course, I always hate, and again, it's a kid show, which
I always hate. It's a good show.
I like. I feel like I should still rate it though, not being a kid show, as in like
Oh,
it's
that's
like
fine.
I still
Yeah.
should rate it as what it is. But like, of course, the faceless little minion thing, I always just hate it. Just like evil little tiny minion guys, like just fodder. Like,
I
over and
see,
over,
I
just
see.
fodder.
Cannon fodder,
Is
yeah.
what I mean by that concept.
I see.
That's all really I have to say. If you guys have any other thoughts.
I have to add, this show is the perfect representation of what little crispy fantasized about every day as like in elementary school.
Do you think
So
you watch it?
it
as a-
scratches. Oh my
100%,
god!
yeah.
I would have watched the shit out of this. It scratches an itch in my brain that was never scratched as a child.
I have to admit, it wasn't little Azumi's dream,
Mm-hmm.
but it would have been very nice to watch.
Yeah.
Would you have bought like all the products
Oh my
that it
god!
comes with?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
I would
Yeah,
have been
there you go.
obsessed with the pink-haired girl. She would have been my Oshi.
There you go.
as
Her
a
character
10-year-old.
design's really cool.
I know. Yeah.
So I guess that's Princession. Oh, score. What did I give it? You guys go first.
I need to go last.
Okay. I want to say, because I didn't actually write scores down for any of this, so I'm just like going off our discussion and what I think
Off
about
the
it.
dome.
5 out of 10.
Five?
It wasn't like really great, but it wasn't really bad either.
That's what I
So,
gave it.
about a
I mean,
five.
that's what I gave. I mean, it is a kid's show. It wouldn't be for me, obviously.
Well, you're not invited anyway.
I'm not
No,
invited.
you're
I
not
can't
invited
even
anyway.
go. I can't even
Yeah,
watch
you
this
can't,
show.
yeah.
In fact, the fact that I even have a
The
rating
police
is
are on their
damning.
way.
Is
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
shit.
Oh
Yeah, I agree with you. 5 out of 10.
I'm just incredibly biased towards this show because of my history. My history.
Wait, should we guess what
Your
her
history.
Yeah, guess what
rating
my
is?
score is.
I want to say an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say an 8 too.
Oh, it's a 7. You're close.
All right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that?
Oh, just because I mean I thought it was a really cute show in general, and I liked the music. The designs were really cute, but then it was also like something personal to me that
Yeah.
like was something that I really liked as a child. It just has that like nostalgic kind of feel to it for me.
Yeah, I can see
I was
that.
thinking, like, this is a very random and probably horrible comparison. I was thinking that our main evil guy, Jamaok, or, you know,
yeah.
presumably human-shaped guy, I've never watched Sailor Moon, but it was giving me slight Sailor Moon vibes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
With,
guess
like,
that's
the
fine.
girls and the guy.
Oh, I see.
Like the evil dude.
Because
Yeah,
men
yeah.
are evil.
Yeah.
They're
It's
evil.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, men are evil. Yes. But yeah, that's it. But, like, disclaimer, I've never seen Sailor Moon. So, I actually don't know, but...
So that means they're supposed to fall in love with that guy.
Oh my god, no.
Mm.
I mean, redemption arc.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Dude looks sick. He's got a cool guitar.
He also looks like he's like an adult though.
He does. That is the
And
down.
he's just like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of children.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Strum my guitar.
These kids.
Okay. And would we recommend this show?
Yeah, if you're a child.
Well, yeah, or
like a
people
girl-
who like shoujo anime.
yeah, I would say that.
If
To
you're,
people-
and I want to be clear, if you are a boy, you can watch this show. Okay, don't let my arrest get in the way of your
If
your
you're a
ability to
boy,
watch this.
you can watch it, but your hobbies better be singing, dancing, makeup, or costume.
Yes, there's a certain requirement level
Yeah.
for that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it for those who would find it fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. All right, so we're gonna actually pause. We're gonna stop.
Sounds good.
And wheel coming up. 3, 2, 1, go. And it's
Oh,
Maebashi Witches.
Maebashi Witches. So from one girl show to
Yeah.
another, it's like perfect.
You have to leave the room, Kringle.
yeah. You have to leave the room again, Kringle.
I just served 6 years for that last one.
Okay, yeah. So this one's number 16 on our list.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have Maebashi Wishes. The studio is Sunrise. Sunrise is known for a ton of stuff, including Gundam.
Yeah.
And they do Gundam, and they also do what's that other girl show?
Oh,
Their stuff.
Precure?
Precure, yes. Okay, so Maebashi Witches. The studio is Sunrise. They're known for Gundam, as well as they do kind of like the balance of Gundam for boys and Precure for girls. And I guess Maebashi Wishes is sort of in the line of that. And the director is going to be Yamamoto Junichi. I had nothing really recorded from him, what he did.
Sunrise did too do Love Live.
They did Love Live. Oh, they did Love Live. Okay, cool. But the writer's script is Yoshida Erika, who also I didn't see there be really any
Yep.
notable credits from. But yeah, so I guess let's get into this. Do you guys want to start us out? Oh, with the description.
Yeah, I got it. Yuena Akagi is an ordinary high school freshman in Maebashi City, Gunma Prefecture, until a talking frog named Keroppe appears and throws an unexpected proposal her way. Why don't you become a witch? Before she knows it, Yuena's closet becomes a gateway to a mysterious world where she meets 4 other girls, each with their own quirks and magical potential. There's the fiery Azuni Sato, the level-headed Kyoka Kitahara, and the ever-optimistic Choko Mitsumata, and the carefree Mai Kamizumi. Together they form the Maebashi I did it too. Maebashi Witches, a group dedicated to granting people's wishes through magic, music, and a bit of mayhem. The base of operation, a charming little flower shop in the heart of the shopping district, where the flowers of the heart can finally bloom. With a little magic and a lot of heart, their new life as witches is about to begin.
I also want to mention that the frog is voiced by Sugita, who's famous for doing like everything. He does Gintoki from Gintama. He does Joseph from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He like literally does everything. So hearing his voice as the frog was like great. And kind of fits the frog. This frog is kind of like fucked up.
It's like the frog is kind of like omnipotent, but like fucked up.
It's kind of like
Making person.
it's kind of like
Entity?
Kenjiro Tsuda being the giraffe in Revue Starlight.
Yeah.
Like it's like you have this crazy famous male voice actor in being an animal in a girl's
Girls show.
Yeah.
Just starting out, I mean, the show itself is centered around them. I guess just sort of the frog just kind of shows up and says, "We want to be a witch."
Yeah.
Like it's
Well,
just
actually,
immediate.
the show starts in the middle of the episode.
It does. It starts in the
them
middle and
failing.
then does a rewind.
It starts and the main girl's like, I'm gonna sing for you to make your heart bloom, and then the other girl comes up and is like, no, the fuck you won't, and
And
starts
just
beating
starts
the
beating
shit
the shit
out
out
of
of
her.
her.
Which is
Yeah.
which ruins the whole thing. They do like a freeze frame. They're like, "Let's get back." Oops, that was awkward. Let's get back. So yeah, there's like this sort of like I guess funny start where they're sort of subverting I guess the sort of magical girl. Like it's smooth,
Yeah.
it's a smooth transition to save whoever.
And they don't always work together.
They don't always work together. That kind of creates, I
Yeah.
guess, an interesting tension. But I mean, yeah, it immediately starts with them being like essentially offered by this frog to become a witch.
Right.
Which the nature of it is they have to solve wishes for people, or give them what they truly desire. But it's like a currency. They get
Yeah.
points rated on how well they do, and if they get to a certain amount of points, they become witches. I keep saying wishes. The wishes,
because of
the
the Maebashi.
witching wishes. So they can become witches. Which seems strange. It's like, why? What are these points? What are
Yeah.
How does it work?
the frog is obviously not telling us everything that's going on.
Well,
like,
yeah,
why.
definitely.
It's definitely like
I had a lot of questions.
like it's definitely hinted that there's like something behind the scenes, which I'm sure that we will come up against. Like, I guess like the show will come up against there being like an antagonist of some sort that like they have to fight against. But I guess like the sort of cold calling aspect of just getting them into this role
Yeah.
is strange.
That was a little strange for me. I was just like, what? Suddenly witch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what? Because she doesn't seem that unhappy with her ordinary life. It's just like suddenly she's just kind of gone, okay, we're just going to throw you into being a witch as well.
Yeah, you want to be a witch, right? Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
it gives me a lot of questions about Kerope's like motives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are his
But
motives?
then it's also like this is another little girl show. There probably are no motives.
It's probably just
not gonna
random.
get too intense. Though it is for a little bit older audience, I feel like than the last than Prince Session.
I would say so, yeah.
I guess I always am getting confused because like some of them feel like they're like career adults.
Oh, she's a high school freshman.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking like I guess there's like interpersonal drama because some of them are like oh I'm like oh she's so extra, but like I'm just more reserved. I'm not really gonna or like there was a one girl who she like got the donut thing or the zanzai, what was it?
The manju.
The manju. She got that manju, and then she's like, "I'm gonna have it later." And she mentions later, like, "I don't actually like it either, but I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna make a big scene about it." Okay,
I'm just gonna throw it away later.
like I'm just gonna throw it in later. So I don't know. There's there's definitely a type of like I don't know some sort of I guess drama in how their personalities will probably conflict.
Yeah, no, I think the thing is though, it's like a thing to save face or like be considerate of the other person to say, I'll have
Yeah.
it later. Because it kind of avoids
yeah.
hurting their feelings by going straight at, I don't like this. Blah, blah, blah. And granted, it's not like anyone's fault if they don't like it, but you know.
Azumi says as someone who also doesn't like uncle.
Yeah, I do not like Uncle.
Yeah,
I'm
me
sorry.
neither.
Just no.
You guys are freaks.
You're the
Me
freak.
neither.
Red bean paste.
I don't
uncle.
like it either.
It's delicious.
I'm sorry. I don't like the texture.
Azumi doesn't like beans.
I don't like beans. Anyway, they're thrown into Granny Wishes.
They're just thrown right into
They're thrown right into it, and then they have to figure out how to use their powers, in which they get some guidance, and then they kind of help this one person, and then that's it.
Okay, there was something I thought that was really funny. So there's a couple things. One, Keropi says, like, oh, yeah, to the main girl, the pink-haired girl. He's like, oh, yeah, this will be easier. Weak to peer pressure. I get it. He's like, you're one of those. And I'm like, that's very, that's very, like, I guess, disconcerting.
Oh yeah.
I liked when she asked Kerope what she should call him, and he's like, I don't have a name, just like come up with something. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, Kerope, which is like, Kero is like ribbit in Japanese. And he's like, oh, that's kind of offensive, but okay.
That's kind of racist of you, but all right, okay.
Yeah.
It was funny, too, because he was also like, I don't need you guys to be friends.
Yeah.
I just need you to work together.
Just get the work.
Yeah.
It's almost like something you'd expect from adults.
Well, yeah.
To be honest,
And
yeah.
I think that's kind of the funny, which is kind of why I almost feel like this is not targeted towards like young girls, or maybe just the writer just wants to write a separate story, because it's very meta for a magical girl. They're like, I don't really want to be one, but I guess I'm doing this. Feels very subversive. Even the fact that like when they find the girl, he's like, this girl wants this thing. They like completely fuck it up and tell her that they've been watching her and that they know her name and everything. She's just like, what is happening? This is shady as hell. To her, it's just a literal random store she walked into. And they're like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know you've been struggling with all this. It's like
No, that's so. That is terrifying. Like stalker level terrifying.
Yeah.
that bit is funny as like a like.
It's funny
It is
as a-
kind of
it's
weird when
funny
you
as a
think
bit,
about the
yeah.
fact that a just random person would know
Especially when
you.
you wouldn't actually bat an eyelid at it normally.
Yeah.
Like as a out of universe viewer or as one of the girls, you wouldn't really necessarily bat an eyelid at the fact that they know so much about this person they're trying to help. Whereas it really points to the fact that if you are that person, that is so creepy. Witches, magical girls, whatever, that kind of lends credence to the less creepy part of it. But, you know, it's still kind of like, why?
Like we know that they're well intentioned.
Yeah,
To this
we
person,
know.
it's like yeah, this would be incredibly like concerning.
I just remember something else, another point to add to you saying that it's probably for an older audience. The fact that that girl was worrying about entrance exams, a younger audience. wouldn't be
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah.
relate to at all.
Which I did find funny that it's like the characters that are not that age yet being like, here's your life
Yeah,
advice. And it's like,
exactly.
huh? It's
Yeah.
like it's kind of weird.
On the
but
other hand, I think it's like they're at the age where they'd be starting to think about it,
Yeah.
but they're also
Yeah.
far enough removed from it that they could probably give like slightly less biased advice.
yes, yeah. So it's kind of interesting how they're able to like approach that as older girls that are starting to kind of see the world in that way. So maybe more of the characters that they're going to be helping are going to have more adult problems.
Even the girls, like they actually looked at the problem from like an adult perspective of these are the pros and cons of these doing these two things, blah da da da, and then they just went, okay, let's take a step back. What does she actually want?
Do we feel like the resolution of her problem made sense?
I think it does, to be honest.
I think it does, yeah.
She just wants someone cheering for her.
A lot of people, like if you think about it, a lot of people just want someone to say it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just go
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
good. Maybe part of me was just like thinking there'd be a little more like
Like
to
actual
it
problem solved, like
something.
the
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
like literal problem is solved kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, a lot of the time when people come to you for advice or like ask you a question or whatever, sometimes they're not actually looking for you to tell you the answer.
Yes.
They're looking
Yeah.
for encouragement.
you bring us some good points. I think I'd agree with that. Is there anything else?
Not really.
I
I do love the color in it and like
Yeah,
all the
the
flowers.
designs were
The designs
really
are really
nice.
nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Eye catching and just really pretty.
Yeah, things looked like well put together.
I
too.
also
oh wait, did they
appreciated-
sing? Wait, did they sing?
They did.
Were
And
they
their singing
3D?
voices-
Were they 3D?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, they
I
were.
think they
Their singing
were.
voices were actually really nice. They were like pretty deep.
Yeah.
Like deeper. Than
Oh my god,
most.
yeah, I forgot about the montage sequence when they're singing.
Yeah.
That was
and the
pretty
space train.
that was pretty cheesy.
Yeah,
that
oh,
was
for
very
sure.
very
Oh, it's so
cheesy.
cheesy.
There were definitely some cool shots, like the whole like in the space and all that stuff. That was cool.
Going back to their designs, I appreciate that Azu is like very, very obviously meant to be a stereotypical like Jiraike. So
Can you explain that a little bit?
so Jirai is like a fashion style, and it's like basically her style.
Okay.
But there's an association with Jiraike for being like manic girls. It's the skirt style, the long black hair.
Okay.
Putting her hair in pigtails, the frilly
Interesting.
blouse.
Okay.
It's like a very
that's
specific style.
It's like a stereotype. You're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, exactly.
I see. Interesting.
I also like the variety of the girls. Like, there's not all of them are like really, really girly.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
butch girl.
Yeah.
yeah, you have the dumb girl.
You have
or
the, you have
one-
the butch girl, you
Yeah,
have the dumb girl,
yeah,
you
the
have
dumb girl.
the manic
She
girl.
literally, that's her whole. She keeps just saying. I mean, well, okay, sorry. Other people keep saying that she's a dumb girl.
Yeah.
But no, she's the one that's the most happy. I guess I don't know.
Very happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, a good spread
Yeah.
of like different types of characters and.
Yeah, which
personalities.
makes it really like it makes it more interesting when they're like solving puzzles, like
Yeah.
solving problems, because they all have a slightly different view on it.
It does feel like very like Big Brother, or just like the
my
drama.
God.
I don't know, the
Yeah.
drama
Yeah,
of
it
of them
was pretty
talking.
dramatic.
It felt like housemates together trying to like work out how to solve. I don't know.
I think
I'm just
that's also
crazy.
kind of fun though, because it's almost it's familiar. It's very relatable to the
Yeah.
viewer. It's just really nice. It keeps that fantasy kind of the witches and stuff like that, but it also brings it down to reality where it's like, okay, they're actually talking about this stuff. Kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
That brings us to our next important question. Who is best girl?
Who is best girl? Oh my god.
It's funny though, because I do like the style of the girl. I do like the Jiraike. The aesthetic is kind of cool. She felt like the most separate from all of them, which is definitely what they're going for. She also like contrasts as more of like a
She's
darker
supposed
character.
to be a complete contrast to the main character.
Yeah, like so that's the whole point. She's supposed to be that contrast to the main character. So I like her design. She was insufferable.
I know.
in
I
the
love
show.
that, though. I love
she is
that.
absolutely insufferable. So like she is like very very much abrasive.
I have to say, I really like Kyoka Kitahara. She's the more butch girl.
She's like Futch. I have to fix my earlier comment. She's
Yeah.
Futch.
Feminine butch.
Yeah. She's the green guy from Hanadol.
Okay.
She's the same character.
She's the green guy.
She's just the same character.
It's the same character.
Yeah, I guess I like the most in terms of her character, because like she strikes me as someone who's very like socially like experienced in a way where like she's kind of it creates a good tension with the fact that she probably won't speak up on things because she doesn't want to upset the flow of things, but that there will be probably a point where she's gonna explode and it's gonna all come to a head, and it becomes more of like a big dramatic point that she's not actually like doing what she wants or saying how she feels. I think that character dynamic is more fascinating than any of the other characters I saw.
I also liked Mai the best for different reasons. I like her hairstyle the most. And I liked that she was like the more like level-headed one.
Okay, so
Rating out of 10.
Ratings.
5 out of 10. Like, I mean,
yeah, solid 5, 6.
which
Yeah.
does seem weird that I put it the same as the Princession one. But I feel like they're both executed to the same degree. It's just they're both kind of like very average shows for me.
I liked Princession better. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Which is actually fun. I think I would actually like My Bachi Witches more. I think it just had more going.
For me,
It just wasn't as much of a kid show. In
for
that
me,
sense.
Princession achieved what it was going for better than Maebashi.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. I'm not a huge fan of the singing sequences in My Bachi. That does not be for me.
I just think it's about a 6, like a feel good, colorful slice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and slice of life plus magic. You know?
Would we recommend it?
Yeah,
For people who like the genre, yes.
yeah, magical
peop-
girl idol anime.
Yeah, for people who like magical girl idol anime,
yeah, I
yeah,
think-
then I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I think if you're like all about magical girls,
Yeah.
you'd probably love this show.
Yeah.
I won't be continuing. So.
I have to admit, I won't be either. Like, I'm not particularly like massively into magical girls, but it was pretty good.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's get to the next one, and then we're going to take another little tiny short break.
Thanks for listening. Here's the shameless self-promotion. Prepare yourselves.
If you like what we were talking about, or maybe just had us on for some background noise, consider subscribing, leaving a comment, or dropping a like.
Let us know if there's a show you'd like us to discuss or what you thought of this season's anime.
We hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are. That's all from us for now. Bye.
Bye!